Hello, SimFans. Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you with me tonight as we're going to be flying on this beautiful Zibo 737-800 aircraft. I've got her already pre-flighted. I got the FMS already programmed in. I figured I would spare all of you tonight going through that. But I did record it, so I might post that as an overview or a refresher for some of you, a tutorial for people that are new. I know there's plenty out there, but hey, welcome to the channel. I think we're gonna have a great flight tonight. Our flight is about 2 hours and 40 minutes, if I remember correctly from pre-flight. I did it earlier. So, yeah, so we're gonna be flying from Vancouver. And this is by request from Frank Rose, a follower. I don't know, Frank, if you're on right now. Hopefully you'll catch us later. He usually works the ramp at Toronto for Air Canada. So, and then also Aces Down, another follower, had requested this as well. So we are going to do this tonight. It actually is kind of nice because you can hear that wind. We got a lot of wind. Not only do we have a lot of wind, and hopefully that's not blowing all your eardrums out, by the way, SimFans. We've got traffic. We've got global traffic, and we got lots of traffic. And we've got rain, as you can see. Got the wipers on, of course, to make sure that we can see out these windows. So, yeah. So anyway, we'll jump in, SimFans, and get started. So where I've got the aircraft right now, we're connected to the ground power unit. Don't have the APU started yet. I just finished a checklist, my state-of-the-art checklist, right? State-of-the-art. There is an electronic checklist. As many of you know that do follow me, I tend to do mainly Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I am a huge X-Plane fan as well. I've done X-Plane all the way back to, I don't know, X-Plane 6, maybe even before. So I do like X-Plane for the wonderful Zibo and multitude of other aircraft, as probably you are aware of, that are out there. The beauty of the Zibo 737 fans is if you don't have it, you need to get it because it's free. And I'm sure those of you that are with me right now and watching this later know about this wonderful bird. It's continuously updated. So, but yeah, I thought we'd change it up a little bit tonight, SimFans. We'd do something in X-Plane. We'll do an IFR flight. Right now, when I'm on Microsoft Flight Simulator, I'm doing VFR, although the CRJ 550-700, as you know, is out. And I do have it. I bought it. I've only flown it a few times. I haven't flown it enough to really do a review in it yet. And I do have the Piper Arrow that I'm going to be doing a review. And I know I've been saying that for a while, but again, I have logged some hours in that, so I think I'm about ready to do that. So, but anyway, got the checklist here, and we are essentially all the way down to after we entered the FMC, it's complete. The route, and I can go down here so we can take a look at that. So we got everything plugged in, and this is our route tonight, fans. YVR, FMG, I'm not going to read them all off because it would bore you. But as you can see, poker, well, it probably makes sense, right, as we fly into beautiful Las Vegas, which, by the way, coming to you with the Tampa, FlyTampa. So FlyTampa has a payware version of Las Vegas, of course, for X-Plane. And as many of you know, and I've done several flights into Las Vegas on Microsoft Flight Simulator, they have it there as well. And so you can pick those up from FlyTampa. FlyTampa, as many of you know, is a really good scenery developer. They put out pretty much only quality scenery. And can't say enough about them. They are good. Okay, so now, last time I did PAC-X. Tonight I decided not to do PAC-X. We do the default sounds. I'll show you quickly where you can set some of that because I think Zibo has done a really good job with that. So if I can remember right, if we go into, oops, I double-clicked my mouse there. Where is that at? If we go to configure, and I think it might be, is it an audio? I'm trying to remember where it is now that I said it. Let's go back. Nope. Yeah, I think we're in the right place, SimFans. Let's go to audio features, PAC-X, passengers on board, passenger chatter on airport. You know, that's one thing about Zibo, and I haven't been flying this lately, is that it will switch up the menu system sometimes on us. Audio, that's where we were, wasn't it? Okay. Trying to remember where it is exactly. Visual effects, by the way, if you want to change the rain, you can do it here. Be aware, though, that when you start changing the rain with the different types of particles in that, it can really, really slow down your frame rate. So something to definitely be aware of. SimFans, I'm trying to remember. Start engine. That's all your checklist stuff. Diamond cruise, after landing secure. You know, I am so out of practice with this aircraft that I am... Create custom nav. No, it's not in there. We might just get going anyway. I should have checked this before. Passenger applause on off. They might have taken it out. I don't know. Usually you can go in, and I'm sure I'm missing it, but we're just going to continue on. But you can change it for, like, you know, different airlines and stuff, and like you're flying American, which was really weird because when it started off, it would like automatically detect your livery as American. It would play the American sounds, like when you're doing the PA announcements, and Delta if you're doing that. But we'll see what happens. We'll start our flight leg. And you can kind of hear, I don't have the audio turned way up, but hopefully you can hear the passengers putting their bags in the overhead and all that. You can hear it maybe a little bit better on this side because there's aren't aircraft running to our left. So, but anyway, so it's kind of neat. So I thought we'd do that today. The other thing I thought I would show all of you is what I'm running right now is Active Sky. So some of you... Of course, you can hear the flight attendant there. But I'm using Active Sky tonight, SimFans. So that's something that, you know, it adds some realism to the weather. So I might show you that later once we get airborne, what that looks like if you're interested. Please let me know in chat if you are, and we can cover that. But okay, let's go ahead. We got the passengers boarding now, SimFans. So they're boarding the aircraft. So our next step, we've got the FMC completely programmed as we looked at. Now we need to get the APU, the auxiliary power unit, started. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So to do that, we're simply going to, we got to turn on our fuel pump forward number 1. So right here, forward number 1. So turn that on, and you can kind of hear the pump going, and you'll notice the low pressure goes off. Once that's off, now we can start the APU. So we just simply go down here, click once, click twice, and hold your left mouse button until you see that low oil pressure start, and then you're going to see this EGT, the exhaust temperature. That's going to go up, obviously, once the APU kicks in, and it should kick in here in just a moment, hopefully, and we'll just watch for that, and there it goes. And if we go outside, man, this wind is loud. We'll actually see the really good particle system. You can hear it powering up, and you can actually see if you look close. I don't know, there we go. If you look close, you can see those particles going. That's one thing that I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to come out with at some point. We don't really have it yet. By the way, have you noticed that they have the contrails for your own aircraft? Not the AI aircraft, of course, yet, but they are working on that. But I think the particle system, I don't remember. Maybe some of you can remember. I think it was introduced in maybe 11.4, something like that. Oh, the other thing. I decided to change where my camera is because I noticed in the last few live streams, and many of you come and check out the Bravo Throttle Quadrant, so it wouldn't show like the levers when they were all the way down here. So I put the webcam, and I've actually kind of messed around with it tonight to get a better position for it. I've got this gooseneck thing that I can move it around and that. But anyway, I've got the Honeycomb webcam set up, and hopefully I'm not going to bump it because for some reason Streamlabs, when I bump the camera, it like locks this camera up. So if it ever does that while we're in flight and I'm totally oblivious to it, put in chat please, because I can get that working again sometimes. Anyway, so we've got the APU running SimFans, so let's continue on. Enough with the rambling, SimFanatic, right? Okay, so we got the APU on. Now, once these blue lights, SimFans, and you know this, but if you don't, once these blue lights on the inner side where it says APU generator, you hit those on the internal. Okay, so now once that's done, you can hear that switch over. So the power we're running off of now is the APU. So now what we can do is we can turn the APU bleed on. And you can hear that air starting to flow to our passengers. So our passengers hopefully are happy now. And then once that is done, then what we can do is we need to go up here and switch our alternating current to APU. So watch up here, 1, 2 clicks, and now we're drawing from the APU. That's all there is to it. By the way, we want to make sure that our parking brake, and we can turn off that master caution, that's normal. Make sure our parking brake's set, and it is not. So I'm going to hit, as you can see, I have my rocker switch here programmed on my Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant to do the, see, I'm going to do this again. Bop, 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 bop. We'll have fun with that. Okay. Never had so much fun flipping on and off the parking brake, right? Okay, so we got that done. Now we can disconnect our ground connections. So we go over here, we go home, we go to ground services, we hit GPU disconnect, and now our little GPU unit is now gone. He was there before for SimFans. All right, good deal. Rocking and rolling right on through this checklist. We got our master caution disengaged already. Our altimeter. Ooh, we need to set our altimeter. Altimeter, and I'm going to check really quick what that is right now because that's always important. So I'm actually looking at active sky SimFans right now, and right now there's the conditions for where we're at our aircraft position. And you can't see this here. I'm gonna add this really quick so you can see this if you care to see it. I want you to be able to see what I can see. So let me add this through Streamlabs here and OBS and make sure you can see this. Active sky, there we go, there we go. There we are. See that? Yeah, you can see that. All right, so good deal. So we got showers, and here's our current conditions at our position here at Vancouver. So as we can all see that we've got pressure of 30.11. So we need to make sure, very, very important, as in real life. So if you can see right here, this is where I'm looking at SimFans, 30.11. We need to get that set. Okay. You can turn that off and switch back to our cockpit. So we're going to go over to standard here, and I'm going to use my arrow keys on my keyboard so we can get a little more oriented with the, that's STD, not what you would think. So we're just going to use my wheel on my mouse. Was that 30.11? 30.11, right? Yeah, 30.11. And we got to make sure that on the Copilot side, we have that set as well. So we're just going to, if I can see that far, there we go. Looks like we're about right there, right? Switch over here. 30.11. Perfect. Perfect. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So now we got our, again, going off the checklist, very important. First altitude set. So we've got our altitude set at 35,000 feet. Okay, 35,000. Good to go there. Next thing is we need to make sure our elevator trim. I've already done that. There's in the FMC. Again, I'll post an overview or tutorial on that. If you don't know how to set up the FMC, do check that out. I'll probably post it tomorrow night. So we got that done. Gangway removed. Doors check closed. Of course, we've got to make sure our door is closed, and so it's not. Oh, if you want to see passengers, by the way, you know, if you want to see passengers, you just go over here. We click on, of course, I'm not gonna, watch me not find this either. Visual effects, I believe. Passengers, it's on hide. So if we click on this and do show, we should, yep, we have passengers back there, SimFans, so that we've got people on board. So their lives are in our hands, SimFans. All right, so we got that done. We got the gangway done. The doors are closed. We need to get all of our fuel pumps turned on, so we're going to go back to our overhead, and so that just means we hit this, hit this, hit this, do our center pumps as well, because they have fuel. By the way, as you probably are already well aware, but I don't know if you are, so I like to go over this. We got just a little bit of fuel in our center tanks. We got 2,690 pounds of fuel, and 8,580 in the left and 8,600 in the right. So that's where you can see that. But that's why, if you ever wonder, if you turn these on and you wonder, well, why did they show low oil pressure? Low pressure, it's probably because you don't have fuel in them. And as we fly, because it's going to first kind of take from the center fuel tanks, when we first start flying, it's going to pull from there. Okay. Rock and roll. All right, so we got that done. Fuel pumps are set. Hydraulic, we need to turn all those on. And once those are on, we can then look out the right window and we will see our We have our ailerons, spoilers, and so on and so forth at work. We tried the spoilers, got that, air brakes, all right, good deal. Those are set. So now we can turn on our anti-collision lights. And by the way, you can't see this, but I'm going to turn on the anti-collision lights by hitting the beacon. So if we go outside here, if I turn on the beacon, we will see, I'm doing it now on my Alpha Flight Controls. Now we see the beacon on, and we actually hear the passengers stop loading their bags, and they take their seat. And now we should hear the crew announce that we're about ready to, there you go. And I know many of you are probably already aware of this, that are with me tonight or watching later, but it is a pretty cool thing. By the way, PAC-X does have its own flight crew and audio sounds. There's a pretty cool thing where you can do your announcements through your microphone to the cabin. That gives it a PA effect. It's kind of neat. I demoed that before, but okay. So we got our anti-collision lights on. Now we need to make sure we turn the pack left and right. We're going to hold on that. So we need to call pushback. And please forgive me, SimFans. I'm a little rusty. I used to fly the Zibo like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week. And since Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, honest to God, probably have only flown this thing for maybe 2 or 3 times since. So I am definitely rusty. There's something about being proficient, right? So we're going to go ground services. We are going to go to better pushback, and we're going to do a pre-plan. So we just, better pushback, by the way, for those of you that aren't maybe don't know, it is free. And if you haven't been using it, you've been missing out. So make sure you pick that up. All right. So then I just click my mouse. Then I hit enter.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Call me through the menu when you are ready. All right. So we're going to call him through the menu because we are ready. So now we're going to say request pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
And our tow is driving up. Here he comes. I'm going to show you something else. Another utility costs about $15. You can get it on sale for probably $10. It's called, I think, AVS. Airport Visual System, I think is what it stands for, if memory serves. But it's so nice because one thing I forgot to mention to all you Sim fans is our route today, we will be taking off from runway 26 left here at Vancouver. So I'll show you what that looks like, AVS, and you can get that from xplane.org. And I will tell you what, Sim fans, I originally thought, who the heck needs this thing, right? I got airport diagrams. I can figure out where I'm at. I'm a real pilot.
Okay.
It's so easy and convenient. It'll save you enough time to make up for the, again, you could probably get it on sale. Sometimes half off. I've seen it for like $7.50, $8. Let's go see what he's doing here. He's getting us connected. We're going to go to free camera so we can actually move right in. Check it out. This little thing, and you can see it actually go up, which is kind of neat. So he's going to be ready here in a minute. I think he's ready.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Release parking brake. All right. So now, with the magic of the Honeycomb Bravo cam, we are going to go ahead and you're going to see me flip this rocker switch. By the way, have you noticed the indicators? Those are all on, as is our gear. And so that's another nice feature of the Honeycomb Bravo quadrant that many of you may know. But I love that. Anyway, we're going to turn off the parking brake.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Now we're going to rock on backwards just like we've all been on flights before, and we're going to get the engine started. And then we're going to hear, oh, they're already going with the announcement, the safety announcement, right? And let's see, look at the vehicles, even though they're on top of each other and kind of combining, ignoring the laws of physics that you can't occupy the same space at the same time. But you know what? We've got to set aside the whole realism aspect sometimes with simming and just live with it, right? Okay, so now we're going to get the engine started, SimFans. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off these packs. So I'm going to the checklist. We're moving backwards and push back. So we got to turn the left and right packs off to start these engines. That's going to divert airflow, by the way. That's going to use the airflow from the APU to spin those turbines to get those things lit. So that's what we're doing there. Okay, and we make sure that our thrust is idle, which it is. So excellent, and we're going to go ahead and start our engine. So we're going to start with the right. So we're going to go here and hit ground, and we're going to hear that engine spool up. You can hear it spooling up outside. All right, and so we're ready to go. We got to put the fuel up. We're going to see that just take off right here, fans. And then if we go outside, we can look and see it spooling up here. And hopefully pushback doesn't go crazy. Have any of you ever seen pushback just flip out and just start going all over the place? I really shouldn't say that. I will jinx this.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right, we are going to set the parking brake. Rocker switch is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the Alpha Flight Controls. I know you can't see them. When I get my new build, I'm actually going to get another webcam. Actually, I'll probably get 2 more webcams. One to show the Alpha Flight Controls, one to show the Bravo, and one to show the rudder pedals all at once. Yeah, I love the fact that you can program all the buttons and make them all work, and it's pretty useful. All right, so we are set. We're going to say disconnect and give us hand signals, and we've got a plane right in front of us. Okay, we need to get the left engine started, so let's go ahead and get that started. We need to put on continuous there for the right engine. Now we're going to start the left engine. Put it to ground. I don't have the...
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a great flight.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't have the I don't have the bass really turned up or the volume really turned up, so I don't get that much of a rumble. But now we can go ahead and give fuel to our left engine, and we'll watch for that to spool up here as well. And there it is. You can still look at that, SimFans. Look at the particles back here. Just all this is blowing back. That's pretty neat. We've got the rain, so you can actually see like the rain and stuff that's blowing back from our engines. That's pretty nifty. That's one thing X-Plane has right now that Microsoft Flight Simulator doesn't have yet, so I'm sure they will have it. All right, so let's go up and do continuous on our left. Okay, now continue on with the checklist. We need to turn our APU off, but before we do the APU off, we need to make sure that we get our generator switched to the engine. So this left blue light here, generator 1, generator 2. Look at the DC amps fall. Once that is done, now we can go ahead and flip this to generator 1. Now we know it's pulling power, and we can turn our APU off just by going down here, and now you'll see that blue light go out. Of course, we need to turn our APU bleed off. And we need to turn our packs back on because our passengers in the back, and they are not happy because they're not having any fresh airflow. We need to turn our probes on. Probes, basically what that is it's just going to put heat for our pitot tubes, essentially, that register ram air pressure. That gives us the airspeed, all that stuff, if you care. Window heat. Window heat we're going to turn on. And typically you do that if it's less than 10 degrees out. I always turn them on right away just because I always forget, SimFans. Yaw damper, turn on. Right there. Flaps we need to set. Oh, and the beautiful thing is with the Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant. I still haven't figured out these mappings yet, fans. But here we go. So watch, I'll put this down to 5. And as you can see, it is right in the center. It's aligned with 5 there. If you can see that, if my camera's still working. Is my camera still working? My camera's still working. So that's a beautiful thing. And if we look outside, we see those flaps coming on down. Okay, almost ready to go. Now we got the flaps down. We wanted the auto brake to be RTO. So we go over here and we click RTO. Pushback is done. Taxi lights we need to turn on. The plane in front of us is going, where are you doing, guy? Why are you just still sitting there? So taxi's on. Runway turn-off lights are on. Not yet, but now they're on. TCAS test, we're going to skip that. Now we're ready to taxi. Okay, so we are going to first turn on some stuff here. We are going to turn on our flight director, very important. So that'll turn on FD, and then right for our first officer, and then we're going to turn the auto throttle on. So those are set. Our AP disengage bar is up, so that's good. And heading, what did we say? We're taking off 26 left, right? Is that what I said? Yep, 26 left. So of course you want to set the heading to 260. By the way, I can do that. Well, I'm going to demonstrate that. So I can go over here, set my mode selector to heading, and I can use this dial, as you can see, and go to 260. But sometimes it's just easier for me to use the virtual cockpit sometimes to do that. So I still do that. I'm still in the habit of that. But it is cool. You can use the Bravo throttle control to do that. All right, so I think we're set. Heading set, altitude set. We're good to go. We got to go to the holding point. Okay, so now for all of you, I'm going to show you the AVS system. So if I go up here, this is a plug-in. Again, it's $15 off of I think, off of xplane.org, off the store. So AVS. You know, the thing, I love global traffic, but I hate that. The takeoff is so shallow. It's like, come on, fix that, because that's just unrealistic. Anyway, that's the little things. Plugins, AVS, on off, and then that's what this is. Shoot, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you can see it. Good. Okay, so notice right now we're at CYVR, so it's showing us that. So if we go to taxiway, the beautiful thing about this is you get to see what runways are which here, right? So if I go up there, I can see that's 08 right, and down here's 26 left. So now all I have to do is I can zoom in here, and I can kind of program my route to know exactly where I'm going. So I think this is worth it. We don't need to go all that far back, but we'll go this far. And then once you do that, you hit accept. So now what happens is I can leave this up and running SimFans in my cockpit. I'm going to move it out because you can't really see it because I'm in the way. But as we go, you can orient yourself with the runway and the airport, and I think that's well worth it for $7.50 to $8 if you get it on sale. By the way, notice this aircraft has no livery on it. That's also some sort of bug. I haven't taken the time, to be honest, to figure out why that's broken. I don't know if I need to update Traffic Global or whatever or not, but anyway, we're ready to taxi SimFans, so let's get this bird going. Turn that off, and we are going to spool up these engines. I'm going to turn on my... what's going on? There we go. And of course, we're using Track IR for this flight, fans. Can everybody hear the aircraft and sounds? OBS updated when I, when I launched it tonight, and first I wasn't getting any audio, and I think I got it fixed, but hopefully you can all hear the audio here. But we got some serious wind going, SimFans, so I need to turn down the volume so that all that ratcheting and sound, noise and stuff, along with that, see how loud that is? That's obnoxiously loud. That's an add-on, XP Realistic, which has its own separate volume control. So I might have to turn that down because that's pretty obnoxious. Oh, and of course, did you see that? Of course, that's Active Sky that just reloaded the weather. Let's see if I can't figure out to get that turned down, because let's see, XP Realistic, control panel. No, I think I hit the wrong one. Profile settings. Master volume. That helps. Does that help? Yeah, that's better. Holy cow, that was loud. Still loud, though. See, like the AVS, I really like that because it's like, I mean, don't really need it now, but it's a nice way to get started and being able to just. How many of you, be honest, go to like a drone view way up high and look for the runway rather than having to download the airport diagram, or maybe you just taxi on any kind of taxiway till you find a runway. And there's no shame in that. Who's flying by us here? Somebody just take off, maybe? I don't know. Oh yeah, of course they're taking off from the. That's the other thing I found with Traffic Global is sometimes they'll be taking off and landing from the exact opposite runway depending on when the weather loads. So if you have Traffic Global, that usually what will start loading before your weather loads, like Active Sky, and if it happens to be different, they're off. So anyway, just you know, but it's still cool to see the AI traffic going about. Okay, Sim fans, we're about to take off. We are about to take off, getting ready to get this bird in the air. Finally. Let's go ahead and we don't really need to do this, but we'll follow our route that we put in on AVS. Again, I think that stands for Airport Visual System. So if you go to xplane.org and go to the store, you will easily find that. We still got some rain going, so a good thing we have the anti-ice stuff turned on. Okay, about there, Sim fans. Now we got to do a little pre-flight here, or before takeoff checklist here, really quick. Bear with me. So we're going to stop, turn on the parking brakes. We're going to turn off AVS because we don't need that anymore. We know where we're at. Okay. Holding point, landing lights. We need to turn those on. So I think that works on my Alpha Flight Controls. It does. So if we go on the outside here, we will see beautiful. The landing lights are on. Next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we turn on the taxi lights off. So we're going to turn the taxi lights off. And then we need to make sure our wing light's on. And then we need to go from position steady to strobe and steady. And that means our strobe lights should be on and going. And definitely looks like those are running. And then the last thing we need to do is need to turn on the TCAS. And eventually I'll get there. TCAS. Again, I apologize for being so slow at this right now. I am out of practice, but I appreciate you all bearing with me as I get myself reoriented with the Zibo here. It's been a while. Okay, so we're ready for takeoff. So I think we got everything transponder on. We are ready to go, Sim fans. So let's go ahead and turn off that parking brake. We're going to turn on our time to start. And let's go. Notice that too with the Zibo every once in a while. It'll probably start doing that, I'm guessing, because it starts saying takeoff configuration, but we are set. We've got our, we've got our trim set. We've got everything ready to go, so it can bark all at once. We'll just ignore it if it does. I overextended a little bit there with the rudders. By the way, I have the TPR rudders. I love them. They're absolutely beautiful, magnificent. All right, here we go. See, there it goes. See, and it doesn't always do that. I don't know if it's like the weather that impacts it. Maybe some of you can tell me what's going on there. But every once in a while, it'll do that. By the way, we want to hold our yoke forward until we hit 80 knots. Why is that? Because we want to have as much steering control on that nose wheel that we can. But once we hit 80 knots and they call it out, we can let go of pushing that down for us. The reason for that is once you hit 80 knots, the aircraft can steer using the rudder. That's simply the reason. About a V1, V2. We're gonna rotate. All right, positive rate, gear up. There we go. we're going to start turning left here to intercept our course line. Still hand flying.
1,000.
Use our trim. Probably put that nose down a little bit because kind of climbing at a fast rate here. There's beautiful Vancouver as we leave Vancouver, SimFans. Bye-bye, Vancouver. Hello, Las Vegas. We're going to go play some poker. Poker, maybe some blackjack? What do you think, SimFans? What should we play? Money, how are you doing? I'm flying into a storm indeed, friend. I do need a cocktail, sir. Actually, I've got a cocktail here. Welcome, welcome, Money. Glad to have you on board. From Vancouver, here we go, into IFR, and we are hand flying. Paying attention to our instruments, of course, now, right? Money, it's great to have you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully you have a cocktail as well, my friend. So we're going to continue to fly, and yeah, we got our anti-ice stuff on, so that's good. We're going to break out of these clouds, it looks like, pretty quick. Cloud layer doesn't seem to be that that thick here, so that's good. Let's take a look here. We probably can put the flaps up a notch. So we'll lift the flaps up a bit. But yes, we have some weather, SimFans. I've been a fair weather pilot for probably a while, as many of you know. Put those flaps up. Because I've got Ortho 4XP, by the way, SimFans. We are flying with Ortho 4XP, but with this kind of weather, I don't think we're going to see too much of the Ortho 4XP. And notice I wasn't paying a lot of attention, so we started descending. So I'm still hand flying it. And so just pulling back on the yoke to get some climb again. And that's the thing, when you get into IMC conditions, it certainly does impact a lot. So, all right, so we're going to turn on our VNav, our LNav, and command. And as we can see, our aircraft is going to start banking to the right, intercepting below there that course line that overflew just slightly. And let's take a look. And this is Money. We talked about this, right? The flyby. Boy, do we miss that in Microsoft Flight Simulator, don't we? We miss that. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. I'm coming through all right. I tried the microphone below, but it was just in the way. Autopilot off. Why? Probably because it overbanked. Safety mechanism. Money. Good being here. I have a beer. Awesome. Awesome, my friend. How long is the flight to Vegas? It's about an hour. We probably got about an hour and 20 minutes. It's an hour and 40, or I'm sorry, 2 hours and 40. Probably about 2 hours and 20 minutes, maybe. Let's check that, Money. Go over here. We've got to Las Vegas 23:21. So let's take a look at our clock. Yeah. So yep. So we should be there 23:21. So yeah, 2 hours and 21 minutes. How about that, Money? That wasn't too bad, was it? That was a minute off, my friend. All from my head. I can get some things right still. Hey, that's all good. So we've got a decent flight ahead of us, but you know what? We are. Oh, we could probably turn off the windshield wipers here. So let's go ahead and disable those. We'll put those to park as we climb out in this beautiful Zibo 7.3. Look at the clouds. Not as beautiful as Microsoft Flight Simulator, by the way, of course, right? But this is what we love about X-Plane. Because we got that stuff. We got the flyby view. That, here we go. Part of Zibo here. We've got the announcement here to sell us stuff. Sell our passengers stuff. Yes, money. Vegas. Las Vegas, my friend. FlyTampa scenery is what we have here. You've been with me, money, when we landed in Microsoft Flight Simulator going to Vegas at FlyTampa there. So I've got it here as well. So we'll be flying in. Yes, flyby money, love it. X-Plane has MS 2020 beat in the replay and views department. Yes, I totally agree, my friend. Totally agree. I remember, you know, how many of us were like trying to figure out where the flyby view was, right? And when you just got Microsoft Flight Simulator, you're like, where's the flyby view? There's got to be a flyby view, and how many of us had looked all through the menus, external views, the what is it called, the feature views, or the yeah, I can't remember, but anyway, yeah, we were just like, where's the view at Microsoft Flight Simulator? Am I a little dark, SimFans? I put the lights kind of towards the back. I was kind of... Let me see if I can adjust that and not mess something up. Seems like everything is so temperamental sometimes, you know what I mean? I don't know if that helps or not, but give that a try. Probably be too bright now. But, yes, indeed. We're going to enjoy this flight. We're over 10,000 feet, so we need to turn off the landing lights, so I'm going to turn them off. Take a look at our aircraft, and landing lights are off. And of course, once we do that, I always like to turn off the wing lights, of course. We'll turn the wing lights off, the wheel well. Don't need the logo on anymore. And of course, the runway turn-off lights. We'll turn all those off. So now, we shouldn't see anything but really our beacon and our nav lights, which is the case. Money, you say, I can't believe MS 2020 developers couldn't program a replay system. How did they not think that is an important aspect? I want to see my light. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, I'm sure they'll get there, but it is a little frustrating. I agree, money, that it's not quite there yet. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my webcam because it seems like it's... Let me try something here. Hopefully I don't mess something up here, fans. Bear with me. It's kind of dark. Of course, this did update, so... Configure video. It's not wanting to do anything. Oh well, okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, does that help at all? Still kind of, I don't know what's going on. Kind of interesting. I've maybe got that too far back, my green screen, so. Oh well. This will work for now. Like I said, the OBS did update, and so I don't know. It could be something with that, SimFans, that caused it to kind of, yeah, it's pretty dark. I don't know what's going on right now with that, because it was fine when I did an earlier test, but right now it's kind of being a pain, and I can't change the lighting on it for now, so weird. sometimes I do that. Might, nope, it's not doing anything. All right, well, sorry about the static behind here. That's kind of weird. It's not really having any impact on the lighting. That helped. I must be casting a shadow or something. One of those things is just like, you know, I kind of am a perfectionist, so when I see that happen, it kind of bugs me. Turn that off, and then it changes it. It's my videos doing something weird. Oh well, I'll quit dinking. By the way, Money, there's a program called, let me think of it, Flight Control Replay in MSFS. I have not tried it yet. It does cost money. It does cost money. Not my best joke, I know. Yeah, I haven't tried it yet. Apparently, it'll allow you to do replays and like look outside your aircraft and see your landings and stuff. So, kind of looking forward to trying that out. But I don't know. I really don't want to spend money on that when I can just wait, and sooner or later they're going to have something for free built in. Well, hopefully built in to Flight Simulator. So, we'll see, my friend. We'll see. Reason why, if you're wondering, why does it say Master Caution Fuel? Nothing to be alarmed about. The only reason that's coming up right now, SimFans, is because of this. We look over here. Our center fuel tank has run out of fuel, which is normal because it's going to pull from that. Now we're sucking out of left and right fuel tanks. So that's the only reason it says fuel alert, because we have, anytime you have low fuel pressure, it triggers that in the system, and it's going to say, yeah, it's going to give you a master caution. So to get that away, see, we have low pressure here because those are empty. So those pumps aren't pushing fuel out. So it knows it's low pressure. We just turn those off. And then, of course, once we do that, that turns the master caution off. So it resets that. So nothing to be alarmed about, SimFans. We will get there safely. Oh, one thing I forgot, though. I forgot to hit standard pressure. So we have a transition altitude of 18,000 feet here in the United States, which that means we switch this to standard pressure. So we're going to hit STD for standard pressure, not what you're thinking. We're going to go over here and we're going to hit the button for standard pressure there. And then you notice that that actually changes the altitude of our aircraft. By the way, our flight level today, SimFans, is 350, 35,000 feet for our cruising altitude to Las Vegas. Monty, do they have a free one? There might be a free one. I know you can do some hacks with Microsoft Flight Simulator to get it to work. That could be, my friend. I might turn up some of the sound here really quick for all of us, because some environmental stuff and master. There we go. Now we can hear the engines better. Couldn't really hear the engines before. Let's turn that up again. Is that better? Is that too loud? You know, we have some of the sounds from XP Realistic too. Maybe put that to 40. How's that sound? I'm going to check it here quick. Seems like it's all right. I got the lights off over there. Yep. Maybe it's a shirt. I've got my SimFanatic shirt on, and this is casting all this white, maybe reflection of light. Maybe that's my problem. why my webcam is like not doing the proper lighting right now. It might be because I have this white shirt on. Usually I wear a dark shirt and I have no problems. Or it could be something with the OBS updating and it changed some settings that I had set for my webcam, and I'm guessing that's probably more the case. Because it did reset like the audio too, and I didn't have a lot of time to test everything out with getting the flight management computer set and all that too before the flight tonight, fans. So I apologize for the graininess in the back. I feel like a noob all of a sudden, but anyway, I might be able to get that fixed here. Yeah, but it looks like I'm locked out of doing any control settings there, so anyway. So, see some mountains off to the right there. So, you know, we can see some Ortho 4XP fans. We're getting out of that rain. So we can see some land there. Of course, beautiful Ortho 4XP. It's always good to see. By the way, if you haven't already, Sim fans, I would appreciate if you would smash that thumbs up button, do a like on this stream if you would, if you like it. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Not only do I do live streaming, I do software reviews, hardware reviews, weekly top 5 announcements for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which has been a pretty good one that's caught on. And yeah, all kinds of content. And I do MSFS, I do X-Plane, obviously. I've done some iRacing videos. I haven't done any American Truck Simulator. My focus is on flight simming, but I like everything simming. So if it's a simulator, it could be even farming simulator, and I'll like it. And cheers to all of you Sim fans. On this... Boy, that's loud. Hey, it's Thursday night. It's almost Friday. Almost the weekend. Fridays are my favorite day. Friday nights are probably the best. Money, you say Ortho on XP11 looks better than MS 2020. You think so? I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe at 35. Well, I don't know. It's well, you know, it's really using Bing. Of course, I'm using Google for the satellite imagery and Ortho 4XP, and so you can pick between the two. And no, oh, that's a question. I'm sorry, I missed that. You had a question mark there. No, I wouldn't say it looks better. At 35,000 feet, it probably looks pretty much the same. But I'll tell you, hands down, Money, and when you're flying Microsoft Flight Simulator and you're like under 5,000 feet above ground, Microsoft Flight Simulator all the way, buddy, because of what the photogrammetry technology in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the Shark AI stuff, where it actually looks at the satellite imagery and makes the buildings 3D based off of that. That's why they say you can fly over your house and it'll look similar to what your house looks like. You're not going to get that money in X-Plane Ortho for XP. You know what I mean? You're going to get the AutoGen's going to be completely separate. It'll put AutoGen kind of based on I'm trying to think. It's not Ortho 4XP. That's the satellite stuff, but you actually when you do the Ortho 4XP, you're actually injecting some of the street data and you know, like the building data and stuff in there. I can't think of the term of it, but you're also getting that in the database as well. So X-Plane still does. That's how you get like the cities with the AutoGen that puts all the buildings there, but it's not going to match like what Shark AI's done in MSFS. It's just if you're VFR flying sim fans, Microsoft Flight Simulator, hands down, all the way, every day of the week, twice on Sunday, it's Microsoft Flight Simulator. IFR for out flying, though, right now, if you're flying commercial airliners like we're doing tonight, with the third-party software or the third-party add-ons for the aircraft, the commercial jets, yeah, X-Plane still has the advantage, in my opinion, X-Plane. So that's why I think there's room for both of them on my hard drive. and probably on your hard drive if you already have X-Plane. I wouldn't start with X-Plane now if you are going Microsoft Flight Simulator, because I've got thousands upon thousands of dollars invested in X-Plane with the scenery, the aircraft, the time, the hard drive space, the storage. I mean, Ortho for XP, that's the other thing, money. You better have some storage, buddy, because we have some turbulence. Hear that? But you definitely want to have some storage. I've got 2 external Western Digital Black external drives that are 8 terabyte apiece. I've got an 8 terabyte drive internal. That's a 7200 RPM drive, and you're gonna need. So I've got what's called a zoom rate of 16 for Ortho for XP, and I've got all of the United States, part of Canada, as you saw, part of Alaska. Alaska's huge, so I've just got part of that, southern part of Alaska and western part, and then I've got pretty much all of Western Europe, and I've got a full entire 8. Well, probably about, to be honest, probably about 12 terabytes to hold all that. So the nice thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator, as you all know, is, you know, it doesn't require all that space because it streams the data. So I, for the life of me, can't figure out why my camera's so dark. Looks so dark. Does it look really dark? Money, does my camera look really dark? It looks pretty dark right now. I think it's kind of locked. It's got like some auto settings for lighting, and I think it's just Ortho for XP. When it updated, I think it just messed up all my settings because I had it better before. Let me try something, fans. Yeah, it won't let me change the, that's really strange. Like, I'm trying to configure the video for it, and it will not. It's probably because I'm streaming. It's not letting me. Oh, wait, hold on. Stay with me, SimFans. Even though I'm not on video, I'm still with you. Alright, I might be able to get this fixed. Yeah, it totally did. It changed. It looks like it actually changed my lighting. And even my focus maybe a little bit. 320. Alright, let's see. Does this be better? Ooh, that made me way too bright. I know you can't see it right now, but that's definitely what happened. Stupid camera. Let's see if this is any better. Ah, it's too bright. Wait, hold on. I don't know. Maybe that won't even help. Is that better? Ah, I'm too bright! I think that's better, isn't it? Stupid OBS. I tell ya. No, it's great. Actually, I can't complain. It's free. That's why I can do this. Man, we got a lot of turbulence happening here, fans. A lot of turbulence. Woo! We're about at our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet. Let's check and see our progress. Okay, thank you, Money. Yep, it does. It's darker than your glasses. Yeah, how about now, Money? I think I got it fixed, my friend. Hopefully. Does it look better now? Hopefully it looks better. think it's better now. Yeah, I think it reset when I did the OBS upgrade when I launched it. It's darker than your glasses. Well, actually, that might be a good thing. I don't know. I've been catching some flack from all the lights that are reflecting off my glasses. If that's bothersome, let me know. Seatbelts on. Yes, indeed. Indeed, Money. Seatbelts on. So, let's see. So what this means, SimFans, this TC, that means top of climb. So if we go over to, oh, shoot, we need to show this. Hold on a second. So if we go here, we need to expand our map out a little bit. So see this top of climb, that T.C, or T-C? That's top of climb. So that means that's when we're going to hit 35,000 feet. And as many of you know, the higher you get, oh, that's loud. The higher you get, the thinner the air is. I'm stating the obvious, I know. Thanks, Money. But yeah, so the higher we get, the thinner the air is. So you notice that the performance decreases, right? So the performance keeps decreasing, and that's why once we get up to, you know, like we're at 33,600, and we're only climbing at about, what, 450 feet per minute? I mean, it's like we're in a Cessna or a Piper Warrior, right? So that's exactly why it takes so long. So as you get more and more altitude, you start losing performance. So your plane's gonna decrease the angle of attack to make sure you keep your speed up so you don't end up in a stall. But that means you're just gonna have to wait longer until you can climb up. So as you can see with our timer here, we've been in the air. Well, we turned that on when we were getting onto the runway to take off. So we've been in the air for 28 minutes. And there we hear it, 1,000 to go. Let's do a flyby. And we can see the contrails there, of course. Oh, baby, look at that. I've seen better frame rates. It's probably all the clouds that are over everything, so that's all right. We'll do that again because we love it, because we can get this in X-Plane. I got to get my flyby fixed when we're in X-Plane. Damn, I love that F-mod sound, though. Isn't that great? That F-mod sound. Whew. Gotta love that F-mod sound. And listen to those engines. Yeah, love that F-mod sound. And also you'll notice that our airspeed tape, you know, that kind of decreases. That red would be overspeed, of course. And so, you know, we're at 35,000. We're wanting to be at 0.77 Mach that we're matching up there with. So now we're at level flight. I don't know, I haven't heard any major turbulence, so I think we can turn off the seatbelt. I'm trying to remember, if we do that, will it actually do the crew? Let's listen. Thought they would say, captains turn off the seatbelt sign, and you can get up and move around the cabin, but maybe not. Maybe that's just, there it goes. Maybe. All right, let's check our checklist, SimFans. So now we're at cruise. Oh, we forgot to turn the auto brake off, so we better do that. So turn that auto brake off. Auto brake's off. We turn our wing lights off, runway turn off lights, wheel well lights, window heat is already on. We adjusted our altimeter for standard pressure. Now we're in cruise. We'll want to continuously check the FMC, check fuel consumption, center fuel pump off when empty. We already did that. So now it's a matter of just cruising and enjoying life. Enjoying a Thursday night, ready for the weekend, SimFans. I think it's time for some music, don't you? All right, let's get something pumped up here. seeing where, let me check here, get some tunes going for us, SimFans. Must not have got, oh, nope, I did not. There we go. Kind of see, if you look at the Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant, you can see the TPR pedal. And what I love about the TPR rudder pedals is the fact that they are full rudder pedals. They're made out of aluminum and steel. And they are definitely probably one of the premier rudder pedals. I mean, I think it's Rudo. Turn that down a little bit. But I love them. Now they're going to cost you. I think these cost $650, but now I've seen with the pandemic and stuff, with the demand and everything, they've gone up. But I just hold off buying them because the Charlie pedals are coming out from Honeycomb, and I'm guessing those will be $250. I think they even stated that. And they're definitely going to be the better value. I mean, as we've seen with everything Honeycomb, it's been good value, right? Am I blowing the edge? Okay, Money, let me turn that down. Oh, look at that, SimFans. I think somebody's flying with us. Maybe. Maybe not. That might be AI. Might be AI. Unless it's one of you. Let me turn this down a little bit. Sorry about this. I gotta figure out. Turn this down here. Did I turn that down? There we go. That should be better. Ooh, look at that. Look at that volcano. That's the Ortho for XP for you right there. Man, is that beautiful or what, fans? We'll turn the music down for now. Look at that, though. Is that okay? Is that still too loud? Seems a little loud still, doesn't it? Let's turn it down a little bit. I got things so loud. There we go. That should be better. Is that better, SimFans? Is that better, Money? I don't want to blow your eardrums out. But look at that. So that's Ortho 4XP. And Money, you are saying, I don't fly with rudder pedals. Am I missing out? Yeah, screenshot that. Hey, good idea. I will do that. Got it. We put that in. Got it, Money. I got it captured. Yeah, so Money, you know, that's yes, but you know, with rudder pedals, I mean, you could argue that it's kind of silly to spend $650 on TPR pedals, and there's a little bit of truth to that. I honestly, I wouldn't spend that much money unless you're a serious, like, you know, as you know, Money, I'm a real pilot, so I want everything as real as it can be, and that. But well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, there must be some sort of seam there. But I would say, no, save your money. Say, all of you, I would say this. Unless you are either a real pilot or like a total sim nut and you want to like maybe build your own cockpit and things like that. You know, you've seen some of them on YouTube where people are actually building 737 replicas as their home cockpit. unless you are that serious, don't spend the money on TPR. TPR are great unless you have the money and it's not, you don't care. Money's not an object. But if money is an object, wait for the Charlie pedals coming out from Honeycomb. I don't know if they're going to be great, but I'm going to base it off of their Bravo Quadrant and their Alpha Flight Controls, and that's all been good. So I got to imagine that the Charlie rudder pedals are going to be good. So money, my advice to you, buddy, would be wait for the Charlie pedals. And even those are expensive, $250. I mean, that's not chump change either, is it, SimFans? So I'll tell you where you're missing out on rudder pedals, okay? So, like, if you want to be a complete fly geek and you want to do a complete coordinated turn, you're like banking ailerons to the left or ailerons to the right, and you're doing VFR flight or even commercial, and you want to keep, they call the ball right in center so you're not skidding or slipping on a turn, and you want to be as accurate as you can, like you're working on your private pilot's license or something like that, yes, you want rudder pedals, because you're not going to be able to do it without rudder pedals to do a complete, what's called a coordinated turn. You're just not going to be able to do it without rudder pedals, money. The other nice thing about rudder pedals is, like, these TPR pedals and the Charlie pedals that will be coming out, and I think the SciTech ones have this as well. You have the toe brakes. So I don't know. I mean, obviously you can map a button to toe brakes, but as anything, if you don't have an axis for your toe brakes, if you have a button map to it, it's either full on or full off. Where if you have the rudder pedals that have toe brakes to them, which I think pretty much any of them have toe brakes. If they don't, then don't even bother. And that's something to look for if you're looking for buying rudder pedals. But anyway, toe brakes are nice because you can apply, just like a car, you can apply more pressure, less pressure to slow down and speed up. And so that's definitely something that the rudder pedals will give you. The other thing is steering. Steering is the biggest thing, I think, for rudder pedals that you will ever use, besides braking, of course. Braking's going to be one of them, but just as much as the steering. And as you saw, money, probably at the beginning, I was doing a lot of steering on the taxiway to the runway, getting on the runway. I was doing that all with my rudder pedals, and that makes it so much easier to do. And yes, money, I saw, is landing easier. If you want to make your landings perfect where you're rolling out, especially if you have crosswind landings, it will definitely make your landings easier. Because, just like in real life, when you're landing and you have a pretty strong crosswind, you have to apply, opposite rudder and aileron to roll out, and a lot of times that will make landings easier as well. So yes, money, all those things. So I guess in summary, I would recommend rudder pedals. Yes. Running through that exercise, yes, I would definitely advise on rudder pedals. They're worth it. And you find, like right now, as you can see, I'm not even using them. I don't use rudder pedals when you're in cruise flight. You don't use them. When you're on approach, you don't even use them, really. Especially if you're flying commercial, you're doing your autopilot usually. And the time that you use them is when you kick off the autopilot and you actually do the rollout for landing. When you're braking, when you're taking off. Oh, that's the other thing. I didn't mention that. When taking off, you will use that to keep your nose straight. If you don't have rudder pedals, I see a lot of people online, and when they're taking off, they're going all screwy all over the runway because they don't have rudder pedals. And rudder pedals will definitely make takeoffs easier. So money in terms of landing, yes, but also takeoffs. It'll keep your nose pointed right down the center line. So hopefully that's helpful, my friend, but good question. Yes, that definitely helps. Well, let's check our progress, SimFans. So let's see. So now we got T/D rather, and so that's in 569 nautical miles at 2242 Zulu. What does T/D stand for? No, it does not stand for touchdown. Many people mistake that for, I'll be touching down at Las Vegas at 2242, and then they'll get to 2242 and like, what the hell? I'm not even close to Vegas yet. No, that is not touchdown, SimFans. That stands for top of descent. So what that simply means is we're cruising around. Look at that, another aircraft. All kinds of traffic here tonight, SimFans. But what that means is that's when we'll start our descent profile. And speaking of that, let's take a look. So one of the things that we'll do, and I'm going to share this here with all of you, is I like airnav.com. And let me put that on so you can all see that. Chrome, where are you, Chrome? Right there. All right, so here we've got airnav.com, and what you want to do is, okay, so what did we say? We're landing on, let me share this too. This is, by the way, SimBrief. This is also free. And I use something that's called SimToolkit Pro that pushes the flight plan out to SimBrief. So if you haven't used that or familiar with it, definitely worth your while to check that out. Adobe Reader, here we go, and turn that on so you can see that. So that says 19 left. I did not choose 19 left because I wanted to do an ILS approach with all of you tonight so we could do the approach mode. So we can find out what our runway is that we'll be landing on if we just simply go to our legs here. We go next, next, next. To be honest, I even forgot. 26 left, so right here, 26 left. So go back because we're flying FMG. So 26 left, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to AirNav, and this is free, airnav.com. SimFans, airnav.com, remember that. And so you can see here's our runways, but what I'm doing is I'm scrolling down until I find ILS, and we want runway 26 left. So when we get to 26 left, we'll get download, and then we'll get the actual chart for the ILS approach. So this is called the ILS or localizer. That's what LOC stands for, localizer. For 26 left, there's some key pieces in here. Don't worry about all, it's a lot of information. Don't worry about everything, SimFans, but the thing that you really want to focus on is this degrees of heading, so 259, because that's what we're gonna put our course to later when we get closer. And the other thing is 111.5, and that's actually in our FMC, so we can see that too when we dial in the ILS. Instrument Landing System is what ILS stands for, by the way. Notice it's McCarran International, but essentially what we're looking for is, see this little, let me zoom in. See this little zigzag line, this little Z line that has the X here? And it says 3800 right here. That's key information, SimFans. So what you want to do is, and I'm going to turn this back off, get to OBS here, turn that off so we can see. Hit the wrong one, sorry. Chrome, where are you, Chrome? There you are. Turn that off. Okay, so that said 3,800 feet, right? So what we want to do is we want to go back into our Zibo, and we want to set the altitude. Now watch, when I set this, it's at 35,000 feet because that's what we're cruising at. So we're going to click and hold this until we get that down to 3,800. Notice we're not descending. Okay, now it's important that you set that, and what that is that's the glide slope intercept. So typically what I'll do is I'll set that at 3,800 because I know then when I reach, hold on, once we reach the top of descent, this is, by the way, these are aircraft flying. That's our TCAS, Traffic Collision Avoidance System. Let's see, let me get up here. So let's zoom out a little bit. Can we get out far enough where you can see the top of descent? It's kind of garbled in here. But yeah, so once we get closer to the top of descent, if you don't have this programmed at least at a lower altitude, it doesn't have to be at that intercept I showed you. I just think it's easier to just set that. Let the flight management computer glide you down, because notice here at Betty, we're going to be at flight level 310, MyCal above 21,000 feet, at Fuzzy at 16,000 feet. So your FMC is going to keep you at safe distances, and this is true to real life. That's why we can trust our systems and our pilots and as we fly along, because the FMC is basically going to make sure that it has those minimum safe altitudes, and that's what that is. So anyway, so if you set that to 3,800 feet and you're descending, once you reach top of descent, as long as you have that as a lower altitude setting than the 35,000 feet or whatever your cruise is, your plane will start automatically descending. If you forget, it'll fly right by it, and you've got to adjust things to make sure that it starts adjusting to the top of descent and starts descending. And there's ways around that. I should do a tutorial on that sometime. But anyway, something to point out. Maybe all of you are aware of that, but just want to throw that out there. Let's do another flyby, shall we? God, I love that. Look, there's another plane flying by. That's one thing with global traffic global, is you get to see a lot of that traffic flying by, and it's kind of neat. It's nice to be up in the sky and not be alone. Let's check out some more of this Ortho 4XP. So see some fans. We see... Oh, look at that. Oh, gosh, is that beautiful. You can see the canyons. And, of course, there's the mesh. So gorgeous. All right, SimFans, I am going to take about a 5-minute break. We've got about approximately 22:41 to top of descent. That's not till we land. So till we get to the top of descent, we've already got a program for top of descent. We've got basically 1 hour and 8 minutes, if my math is right, for top of descent. For our landing in KLAS, that's this 2316. So we still have roughly, and what, hour would be 22, hour 45 minutes, roughly. Notice it says traffic. That's kind of cool, though. The TCAS here, we got traffic really close to us. Where the hell's he at? Should be... Yep, there he is, right there. See him? I'm going to stick around to see this, because he's going to fly right by us. Yeah, he's close. Let's go to our passenger view. Yeah, that's pretty close. Whew. Ah, I don't know. Stream sniper? We don't have that many people following right now. I doubt it. That's probably the AI. Let's see where he's at. Yeah, he's just turning maybe. So, but yeah, beautiful scenery. So I'm going to leave you all with this. We'll take a 5-minute break. Please stick around. Do enjoy all of you being here tonight with me, flying the beautiful Zibo 737, again, from Vancouver to Las Vegas. Stick around. We'll be landing in the payware version of FlyTampa, Las Vegas. And we have a lot more to discuss. We can talk about X-Plane. We can talk about hardware. We can talk about software. We can talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator if you care to. And I will be back with you momentarily. Stick around. I'll throw on some tunes. I'll leave the outside view on so you can enjoy this beautiful ortho scenery. Be right back with you, SimFans, in just a moment. Yeah, I think I like the setup better. My webcam's out of the way. You can see the actual full motion of the levers. I don't know, I kind of like it. What do you think? So you notice we got heading altitude. I could have actually shown all of you that, where you could just simply hit the right control. Although heading doesn't seem quite right. It should be on nav, but anyway, it's working, so we won't mess with it. Do a few more flybys. And as Active Sky loads, check Active Sky, SimFans, because we can. We got partly cloudy, which seems to be alright. Seems about accurate. Pressure's at 3027, so yeah, it should be clearing up. We're getting some higher pressure here, so you'd think that'd be clearing up those skies. Awesome. Yeah, Ortho 4XP, definitely worth it, but it's gonna cost you on storage. SimFans for sure. Okay, so I got a story for you, for all of you. So, you know, I got my new desk, my Vitesse desk. I had to look at it because I could never remember the name of it. Vitesse desk, and it's kind of cool. They got these big mouse pads on them, and so, and they've got cup holders. And like, I've had a rule of never putting a drink on my desk. It's got cup holders for a reason. Never put them on the desk. Well, unfortunately, just yesterday, I decided to ignore my rule that I set, and it's for the longest time it's been working. And wouldn't you know it, the one time I disregard my rule to never put drinks or food on the desk, I have a faux pas. I have a K70 tactical keyboard. I do play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Warzone, and Cold War. And I've loved it. I got it in December. It's about a $170 keyboard. And there's more expensive ones, I know. But anyway, practically new keyboard. I've only had it for, you know, basically 4 months, if that. And I have a Atkins shake. You know, it's a chocolate shake. You know, one of those protein shakes. And I'm working, and I'm like getting an email off, and I set it down, and of course, of all the places, as I'm like trying to do multiple things, I put it right next to my damn keyboard. And I went to the left, I checked something, I went back to the right, I hit the Atkins shake, and I just opened it all over my keyboard. And it was one of those things, you ever have those moments where you look and you sit there for just a few seconds, it seems like an eternity, and think, did that just happen? Did I just do that? And yeah, it was all over everything, and I ended up, yeah, I had quite a mess, so I ended up having to like basically pull all the keys off, turn the music off. I had to pull all the keys off. I actually rinsed it in the sink with about 9 bottles of basically, you know, sterile water. Yeah, I cleaned it out. Now I got it drying for probably the next several days on a fan. So we'll see if that works. I don't know, SimFans. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, because I would be, you know, be like, shit, there's $170 down the drain because of my stupidity. So, yep, never again. Of course, I told myself that before. So this drink, by the way, cheers, goes right over here in a nice nifty cup holder, so that shit doesn't happen. I was so pissed. I couldn't believe it. But it is drying out. I'm fairly confident it's gonna be okay. I don't know, we'll see. I'll let you know if it is. I don't know, any of you watch Linus Tech, is it Linus Tech Tips? Or he's got a YouTube channel, and he does a lot of reviews of hardware like, memory, graphics cards, CPU, all that stuff. But he actually, I saw a video, and I've actually been following him for a while. He's got like several million followers. And he actually had a video. He took 5 keyboards, and how disgusting keyboards can get. We've all been there, right? You get hair and food and just gross, nasty stuff all over them. And so he's like, well, have you ever heard of putting a keyboard in a dishwasher? I shit you not. So he takes 5 keyboards, and he has all of them have the keys left on. And basically, in summary, take your keys off. There's little key removers. Take your keys off if you really want to get a good clean rinse or whatever. And he didn't do heat, of course. He didn't do soap, of course. So he just put them like face down on the rack. The first time he did them at an angle, and then he put them face down with the keys down to the the jets. And so he washed them. Then he's like draining them out. And of course, it reminds me of me pouring. Mine wasn't so bad because I just had to rinse it until it ran clean to get all the chocolate flip and shake out. But he's wringing them out, all these keyboards and everything, and then he put them to the side, let them air dry for a week. Now, I'm not saying do this with your keyboards, by the way, okay? Because it probably will void your warranty. But so then after a week, he tested every one of them, and they were expensive ones. They were like the Corsair tactile key one, like I have. He had the Logitech one, he had a Razer one, and a few other ones. Anyway, so he lets them all dry out for a week, and then he tries every single one of them. And these are ones that have like the RGB. So like mine has the RGB where you can do the colors and all that stuff. All of them worked. 5 out of 5. Every single one of them worked. RGB worked, the USB pass-through worked, the memory, onboard memory worked to save the RGB profiles. And so all that stuff worked. It was pretty amazing. So SimFans, my point being is I have hope. When I spilled that after I got done like realizing what the hell I did, I immediately just instinctively pulled the USB plug out from my hub, so I'd kill the power from it to make sure I didn't short anything, or hopefully not short anything. So I'll have to let you know if it turns out okay, but it's still drying. I've had it under a fan since yesterday at, when did that happen? About 1 o'clock or so. So my stupid self, it's like, it's Murphy's Law, throw it down, tip it over, flipping chocolate shake into my keyboard. Like, isn't that probably the worst thing I could actually spill into my keyboard? I thought maybe not. Maybe it'd be worse if I had water, because water probably would have seeped in quicker because it's not viscosity, it's not as thick. It probably would have just went right into the contacts of the board and fried it. So maybe it was good that I did have a chocolate shake because it's kind of thick. So maybe it's just a little slower to dissipate in that. I don't know. I might have got lucky it was chocolate shake, but I didn't feel so at the time. I was so pissed. My wife's like, I told my wife the story, and she's like, and I told her, I was like, oh shoot. She goes, I bet you probably said something differently than oh shoot. I go, yeah. There were, let's just put it this way, SimFans, there were a few colorful metaphors that came out of this mouth when that happened. But I'm hopeful, keeping my fingers crossed. Hopefully it dries out and all will be fine. I will let you know. I don't know. I couldn't quite get myself to throw it in the dishwasher. It wasn't that bad. So what do we got? 2239. So sometimes that'll change, right? You get less of a headwind. Many times that will change. Less than an hour, SimFans, for Top of Descent. We'll be flying into the beautiful Las Vegas, and we'll be able to, unlike in Microsoft Flight Simulator, we'll actually be able to do some replays after we land, and we'll see how well I do. Again, I haven't been flying the Zibo very much. I've probably flown it 3 times, maybe 4 tops in the last months. I've been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I've not been really into X-Plane other than here and there. But again, I think Aces Down might be with us later. I was hoping Frank Rose would come on. Again, Frank Rose is a follower, and he actually is a ramp. He's a ramp agent for Air Canada at Toronto. So I did do an X-Plane flight from Toronto to Atlanta, and now he had requested, so he might just have to, I haven't seen him on chat yet, so he might just have to catch this on later on after we're done and catch it then. But he's been asking for a Vancouver flight to Las Vegas, so this is Frank. If you see this at some point or later on, this is for you, buddy. But nonetheless, always looking for ideas and for all comments from all of you. That was something that was mentioned by Aces Down, that he also is a pretty diehard follower, which I appreciate. As you know, appreciate all of you. Money, I know you've been on here many times. Thank you so much. But all of you, I appreciate all my followers and fans, sim fans. It's wonderful. That's why I do it. But yeah, Aces probably will be on here later on. Money, I know you guys have chatted in chat quite a few times during these streams. I'm just looking at the checklist, and yeah, I think we're good. How are we doing on our fuel? Yeah, see, I remember when I was programming the FMC and it said not enough fuel. It's like, yeah, right. There's plenty of fuel. Look at that. Ooh. That ortho, I'm telling you, you know, you asked Money, which one's better, X-Plane ortho or Microsoft Flight Simulator? And I'd say at 35,000 feet, it's the same. They're both using satellite imagery. We're not that close enough to the ground to really, for 3D and autogen stuff to really matter, buildings and that. Once we get under, you know, like I say, probably roughly 5,000 feet, maybe even a little higher than that, it starts making a big difference between Microsoft and Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane. But as you all can see, the Ortho 4XP it's free. By the way, it's free, other than the storage. And if you have an internet service provider that capture data, and they start socking you for downloading the gigabytes and terabytes of satellite data to put on here. But I might put a link in Ortho 4XP and after this video to just for those of you that are interested in getting this. You know, it's free, and if you're flying X-Plane and you don't have Ortho 4XP, you are completely missing out, friends. That is an absolute must. Also, another must is X-Vision. I'm using what's called X-Vision. And that's why this lighting looks so much better than the default shit lighting. I'm just going to say it. X-Plane's default lighting, and I was hoping with... look at that baby. Woo! But I would say that, yeah, the X-Plane default lighting, even with 11.5 Plus with the Vulcan, it's terrible. It's horrible. It is muted. It is... just dull. It isn't vibrant at all. It doesn't look realistic. And so I would definitely say get yourself X-Vision. There's another new one too that does, it's called shaders, and that's what it is. It has different shaders for the lighting effects and that. Aviation Spotter, welcome back to the channel. Thank you, friend, for coming online here and joining us this evening. Aviation Spotter, you say, this is very nice, keeping daylight all the way. Yes, my friend, unless you want, if you all want a night flight into Las Vegas, we can certainly do that. Of course, unlike Microsoft Flight Simulator, if I do change that, we might risk the flight crashing on us. I don't think it will, but it's got to load the night textures. Kind of highlighted that. That's why Microsoft Flight Simulator is actually really nice. You can just pull a slider and change the... from morning to day to afternoon to night, sunset to night to, you know, and that, so dawn to dusk type of thing. But yeah, we can certainly do a night approach if you all want. I'm happy to load the night textures, but I kind of like to show off the Ortho 4XP Aviation Spotter. So that's why we're doing a day flight. You notice Aviation, we've got the Active Sky running. Let me bring that up. We've got Active Sky running, so we have real weather. For once, I've been doing a lot of fair weather flying, clear sky, so we can, take in the scenery. But I thought for tonight's flight, we would fly from Vancouver to Las Vegas using real weather. And we actually had a storm. There was a bit of a thunderstorm that rolled through Vancouver. When we took off, we were actually taking off in rain and ran through a cloud layer and did some IMC flying, hand flying. So yeah, until we got above the cloud layer, now we're breaking out of the clouds. We're getting into a higher pressure system, so we're getting some of the clouds to disperse and being able to see this Ortho 4XP for all of its glory. And we've seen a lot. See that AI aircraft? Again, I'm using Traffic Global or Global Traffic, whatever it is, however you say it. I think that might be Just Flight. Again, it's been a while since I've been in X-Plane. I was in X-Plane just a few weeks ago doing the Toronto to Atlanta flight, but yeah. And of course, Aviation Spotter, we have the fly-by view, which we miss so much in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We don't get it there yet. It will come. Do follow the posts if you haven't already. If you like Microsoft Flight Simulator, and hopefully you are, but definitely check out the forums and watch those forums and watch the most demanded things that Asobo's listening to the community on. By the way, X-Plane's going to do the same. I don't know if any of you saw that. I think they're going to follow suit as well. There were some interviews and some posts about Laminar Research and Austin Meyer that, yeah, they are going to kind of take that same approach. They didn't say we're going to take the same approach as Asobo, because I don't think Austin would ever say that. If you know him, I'll leave it at that. He's great. He gave us a great simulator, but he tends to have his own. I'll just leave it at that. He has his own thoughts, and that's fine. But in any case, it does sound like they're going to look for feedback from all of us as sim flyers and aviation fanatics, and so that's a good thing, I think. So apparently, there's going to be improved weather system in X-Plane. People ask me, well, is there going to be an X-Plane 12? And I mean, I'm not an insider. I don't know. If I were to guess, yes, because as we've seen from all the different versions, it keeps incrementing. So you got to imagine it's going to be called X-Plane 12 unless they completely rebrand it. But why would you rebrand a successful product? So yeah, I would think it would be 12 or something like that. If you looked at X-Plane 10, here's something that I've been kind of keying in on for all of you that like X-Plane. If you look at like X-Plane 10, they got to 10.5, and then they had a few updates after 10.5. They had like a 10.5 update 1, 2, maybe even a 3. Well, look what we're at now. 11.5 update, what are we at, 2? Whatever it is. And so if X-Plane is going to follow suit with how they did 10, not necessarily that they have to, but how they do 10 and they do 11, I would anticipate SimFans that we're going to be seeing X-Plane 12 version announced sometime in the near future. I don't have any insider information, but if I look at historically how Laminar Research and Austin has done their releases for their flight sim and their major products, and now they're saying they're going to have a whole remapped weather system so we don't have to use things like Active Sky like we're doing tonight, I've got to imagine that that's going to be coming here soon. But, I'm so happy with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so other than the last sim update 3, that's kind of got me ticked off because the performance went down. But I do like it. I think all of you like it. Sometimes it's kind of like, well, we're, Microsoft Flight Simulator, like saying, well, we've got satellite imagery. How long have we had Ortho 4XP? We've had it for years. So, it's good that Microsoft is in Asobo is doing the satellite imagery, and they took it to the next level by doing the Azure, and they did the streaming of it, so we don't have to have, like we talked about earlier tonight, 12 terabytes or more of 8 terabytes or what more of storage to save it, to fly in it. You don't have to have that much. If you just fly in one state, it's far less, or you fly in a few states, you can do that. But but it's like, they talk about, well, we have satellite imagery. Well, Ortho for XP, it's been there for a while, and it's free. And Microsoft is technically, that scenery is free. I mean, you buy the product and you get that. Other than, again, your ISP if they charge you for it, but we've had this for years, SimFans and X-Plane. So when I first saw that, I'm like, awesome. I thought, that's cool. But I also thought, but we've had this for a while in X-Plane with Ortho for XP, so that's cool you're doing it. It's cool you're streaming it, but it's not anything groundbreaking. But then when they did the Shark AI with the 3D buildings that took the satellite imagery and did another level of like making it taller and all the buildings as you see as you fly around, and even kind of caters to the architectural design of the actual satellite imagery, and has, I don't know how many algorithms they use to figure that out, but now that's cool. That's something groundbreaking, and that's something new, and that's something that is like, okay, that's definitely a step above X-Plane and Ortho for XP. We got all kinds of aircraft. Look at that aircraft flying over on our left side of the wing. Right there, we'll see him in just a second. He's going to show up. There he is. That's kind of cool. You got the red Earth to the right. I haven't had a lot of time to fly the new Aerosoft CRJ 550 and 700 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know. Have any of you? I purchased it. I've flown it a couple times. I can't make a ruling on it. I haven't flown it enough. I mean, it's gotten good reviews, and the hype of it. I even hyped it up in the my weekly top 5 announcements. Every Sunday I put those out there. But yeah, I don't know if it's. I can't say yet if it's worth the money. I think it was $45, $50, something like that. $51, I think, is what it was. Give or take a few bucks, but yeah, I cannot make a verdict yet. I haven't flown it enough, to be fair. I don't want to say yes, it's worth it, or no, it's not. I haven't had that much. There's plenty of YouTubers out there that have done reviews on it, and you can check out. I have yet to do my first full review of aircraft, and I'm going to do it with the Piper Warrior. I've been taking a bunch of notes, flying it for hours. I am a real-world pilot. I've flown the Piper Arrow multiple times, and so I want to really give the good, the bad, the indifferent. By the way, I've done previews of that. You've probably seen a few of my streams. I've flown the Arrow a few times, the live streaming, and I made some comments about they aren't automatically out of the box mapped to the Alpha Flight Controls, which was really disappointing. But they have updated that, and apparently they fixed that. I still need to check that out. I haven't tested and verified that, but I have read that they have updated, Just Flight has updated that, and apparently the Alpha Flight Controls, like the lights, the switches, like the master, alternator, and battery switches, and the avionics now work with it. I still need to verify that because I haven't had time to go in and update the aircraft and test that, but apparently there's a new update for it. And that has fixed those issues. So as long as they've done that, that was like my major complaint. And it was a complaint. It was a complaint because it's like, well, you spend $45 on the add-on aircraft like the Aero 3, and you should expect it to work because I can spend like $30 on a Coronado aircraft. And by the way, Coronado isn't as good as this aircraft, by the way, the Piper Arrow. Bar none, it's the best general aviation aircraft. But I'm just saying, a few of the early complaints that I had with the Piper Arrow, and if you've watched my streams, you've heard this already, is the fact that out of the box it didn't work with the Alpha Flight Controls. It's like, how does that not work? Or other controls, even like the CH and SciTech I heard it didn't work with out of the box. So it seems like an oversight on Just Flight's side, but they got it fixed, and I knew they would. Even when I was posting that and I was complaining, I wasn't complaining about it, but I was just saying, this is something that is kind of surprising that they don't have out of the box. But as I stated when I was first mentioning that, I'm like, I know Just Flight will have an update and they will fix it, and they did. Apparently, I gotta verify that. But if you like general aviation, you like Microsoft Flight Simulator, I would at this point, I've had enough hours in the Piper Arrow, the PA-28R. It is definitely by far the best general aviation aircraft you can get right now, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I will definitely say I endorse that aircraft. I've done it through power on stalls, power off stalls. I know how those aircraft are in real world, in real flight. I've flown them, and they are pretty accurate as far as you could get probably right now with the simulator. It's pretty accurate. The side slip to a landing, it has some improvements to be made, but it's not too bad. And I got to check the latest update out because it might be really good now. But I'll do another flyby here, some fans, because we got to do it when we're in next plane. I often forget how good Ortho4XP looks. You get into Microsoft Flight Simulator and it looks so damn good that many times I forget how good Ortho4XP, being free, how good it looks. And damn does it look good. I think we could all agree that it definitely looks good. Especially if you have the, again, the X-Vision shaders. That is a product you have to purchase. I think it's like $25 or something like that. And that's part of the reason also I stopped playing X-Plane for the longest time. Because once it went to 11.5, I didn't even upgrade for a while, SimFans, because I wanted to stay at 11, was it 4 or 5? Something like that. 4 or 5, R3, whatever it was, doesn't matter. But for the longest time, I didn't upgrade X-Plane because I'm like, I don't want to go to the crappy shaders, default shaders in X-Plane 11.5 until X-Vision has a fix for it. And there was a lot of speculation that they wouldn't. And but yeah, the developer for X-Vision finally released it. It isn't as robust. There's some presets, but it's finally there. And so again, when you see, if you're ever wondering, like, well, why are the lighting effects so much more realistic? I go and watch Simfanatic, or I watch Captain Canada, or whoever, and you think that looks so much brighter. It looks like real life lighting. It's going to be because the shaders are different than the default. I'll about guarantee it. You don't try to even go in, and you could probably try to change. I used to do that. I tried to change my contrast and my brightness levels and color levels using my NVIDIA control panel and all that. And I could make it a little bit better, but never as good as, not even close to the shaders that come with X-Vision. And there's a new shader program, and I can't think of the name right now. And I haven't read anything about it. I've just seen that post that it's out now that has, there's another shader option for X-Plane. I was really hopeful that with 11.5 they'd have a new shader, new shaders for it, and they don't. It's like the same thing. It's like, what the hell? Why? But I suppose that opens it up to the third party people out there, like the person that does X-Vision. Yeah, SimFans, I think we have winner chicken dinner. What do you think on the Throttle Quadrant being the honeycomb cam? It's back here. It's kind of hard to, let me do this. Right back here. It's actually kind of set to the back behind me, and so I get a better view of that. You all can get a better view of that, and yeah, it's not as in the way, so I think I like it. Definitely can see a seam tile there, right? Between the red and the green. So you get that with Ortho 4XP. Like if we go outside here and, you know, we look, you know, you definitely get, you know, you get some of that seam. You know, you can see the seam right here. I mean, yeah, sometimes you'll have like a direct, red to green with the earth, but when you see that kind of thing over the water, you're never gonna, yeah, that's not gonna happen. So you know where your seams are. So I think, you know, we're talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator and Ortho 4XP and the differences there. But yeah, I think with the with Microsoft Flight Simulator, they do a little bit better job. Hey, WMKK Tower, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us tonight. Where are we going? We are going to Las Vegas, my friend. We are flying from Vancouver in Canada, and we are flying to the wonderful, beautiful scenery, FlyTampa, Las Vegas International, McCarran International Airport, and that's where we're going. And we have roughly, let's see, we will be at our top of descent at 2240 Zulu, and we'll be at touching down at Las Vegas at 2315. So as we can see, it is 2212. So we are getting closer. We've been in flight for a bit, hour and 25 minutes, I think. And so, yeah, welcome to the stream, WMKK Tower. Appreciate you joining us tonight on this late Thursday evening. Ready for the weekend, my friend. Ready for the weekend. Top of descent, 2240. So, yeah. Another 28 minutes and we'll be hitting our top of descent. We already have it programmed in the altitude of 3,800 feet. Again, that is our intercept for the ILS approach on runway 26 left is what we'll be landing on. And we'll be going through that approach mode here soon. Very, very soon. Welcome, welcome. By the way, SimFans and viewers, appreciate you all joining me tonight. If you haven't already, please smash up that thumbs up button. Do appreciate it. Lets me know you're enjoying the content. Do a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I do more than streaming. I do product reviews, hardware, software. I do a weekly top 5 that comes out every Sunday. Announcements for Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you like Microsoft Flight Simulator, taking a break from Microsoft Flight Simulator tonight to do an X-Plane flight. May see Frank Rose later tonight. He's a follower. He actually works the ramp for Air Canada at Toronto, so this was actually a request from him. So Frank, if you can't make it tonight and you see this later, this is for you, buddy. But again, appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining tonight. This is why I do it. I am a real-world pilot. I don't fly commercially. I just fly recreationally. And but I've been doing flight simming since Sublogic 2.0, Commodore, and even Apple, way back in the day. That's going to date me a little bit, SimFans. You probably can't see it. I have my lighting tuned for a reason. You can't see my gray hair. It's a mix, but do appreciate all of you. Hopefully you're doing well this evening. And we're just talking, yeah, Ortho 4XP is the way to go in X-Plane. Nice out of the box Microsoft Flight Simulator. Of course, we don't need that. If you wonder what I'm having for a beverage, it is vanilla, Absolute, and Diet Coke. It's not too bad. I'm a bourbon man myself. I like bourbon. I do like it straight or on the rocks. Some of the like Evan Williams, I'll mix that a little bit. But for all of you spirit drinkers out there, beer, love the craft beers. I am a major craft beer fan. I even brew all grain batch brew myself. I've got a lot of hobbies. My wife says I have too many, and she's right. I do. I have way too many. I play poker. I play Call of Duty. I do iRacing. I do pretty much everything simming. I even do Farm Simulator. Wreckfest. Who's checked out Wreckfest, by the way? Have you heard of that? That is a phenomenally fun game. If you haven't checked out Wreckfest, and either you can get it on Steam, And if you have a wheel, but you don't even need a driving wheel, but if you haven't checked out Wreckfest, check it out. It is a blast. And if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, it is already available to you for free. You know, the longest time I was kind of like, yeah, do I get it? And I finally bought it, or not bought it. I downloaded it, installed it because I have Xbox Game Pass, and I'm like, this is a lot of fun. WMKK Tower, you said my country is 8 hours ahead from GMT. Wow, well, welcome. Welcome. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, we, you know, I know I've got a lot of international friends, and do appreciate you joining us. It's late here. Right now, we're in the Midwest, and it is 10:38 in the PM. So, not too late. I usually head to bed, you know, around 11:30 midnight. It'll be a little later tonight because I'm live streaming, but yeah, very cool. Wait, if you're 8 hours ahead of GMT, I'm trying to figure out where you are, because we're 6 hours behind, so that's it. Yeah, net 14 hours. So is it at? It's actually 12:38 p.m. there. Am I doing that math right? 12. If it's 12:30 there, I'm trying to figure out where you are. You're definitely ahead of us. Cheers to you, SimFan. You can hear some of the chatter. I like hearing the cabin chatter. By the way, I have PackX. PackX is a really fun program. If you haven't checked that out, it works for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and it works for X-Plane. So do check that out. It's very, very cool. It kind of adds a little bit of immersion to your flights. It gives it a little bit of a purpose if you do commercial flights. So definitely check that out. It's a lot of fun. Ace is down. Welcome, my friend. Finally coming in. Glad to have you with us. 11:40. I was off an hour. Okay. Malaysia. Well, welcome, WMKK Tower. Thank you for joining us. Well, today. For you, today. And do appreciate you being with us. And Aces, welcome to the stream. I've talked about you a few times to our fellow viewers and SimFans, and do appreciate having you here, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Aces, you probably noticed I've got the honeycomb cam at a different spot. I think this is better because everybody can see the throttle controls and the levers. I know I got them extended up, but I think this is a better view, and I've got it farther away. It's on a gooseneck, and it's not quite in the way. So when I look over at my computer to the right, I've got two computers in my studio here, and so it just isn't in the way. So it's much better, I think. Aces, you missed out too, man, because we took off. I haven't seen Frank yet tonight, so he's gonna have to see this, I think, recorded, which is fine. But when we took off from Vancouver, I almost said Toronto. When we took off from Vancouver, it was a storm just passed through. We had to fly out from through a cloud layer, and we had rain, a lot of wind, crosswind, turbulence. We had a lot of turbulence. We were at 35,000 feet, by the way, and that's where we're at now. We haven't quite hit our descent profile, but yeah, it wasn't like drastic or anything, but it was an interesting flight because Aces tonight decided for all the SimFans here to run Active Sky. So we are doing real weather flight tonight. So let come what may be. Yeah, I decided to get the mic out from in front of me, and I've got it back off to the side. Hopefully I sound okay. It just got in the way, and it was worth a try for one stream, Aces, but it just, to be honest with you, it's starting to annoy me because it was always in the way. I had to like put my hand up when I was grabbing the yoke. I mean, there might be a better way for me to position it, but I just said screw it. I'm getting out of the way. I'm sure it works for many people that are doing like FPS shooters and other things, but when you have a yoke that you're, aileron deflection left and right and pulling back and forward on the yoke, it got in the way, so I decided to put it back where it was. Yeah, do check that out after. Of course, you're an hour ahead, so I don't want you to get too tired. So, but we should be landing and being done tonight. I know the last stream was too long. It's just too long, 5 hours. It's way too long. Okay, good. Thank you, Aces. So we've had Money Aces. I don't know if he's still on. Aviation Spotter. I know Aviation Spotter was on before. I've seen him. Recognize that name. A new name, WMKK Tower from Malaysia. Appreciate him joining us. Or her. I'm not sure. Him or her. But definitely enjoyed them following us here. 13 hours ahead, yes. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, it's great. The whole internet and streaming and stuff, we can bring everybody together for this wonderful sim world. It's so cool. I've got my nifty, my high-tech. See, I've got highlights and notes and all that stuff there. Got my high-tech nifty checklist here. Still works. And notice, did you guys see my top 5 announcements? Or maybe you read it. Do you notice that right there? See that? Right there? PMDG, right? Did you see that PMDG, the CEO, announced that they are releasing their entire line to Microsoft Flight Simulator? And it's going to take some time, of course, and that's a good sign, because that means they're going to try to do it right, and they're not just porting those aircraft over. They are actually taking the time to make sure that they use the functionality within Microsoft Flight Simulator to give us everything that they can on those aircraft. Those are study-level aircraft. As many of you know, if you fly FSX or Prepared, which I've done as well, that's good news. That hit my number 2. Number 1 was CRJ, but I almost put that as number 1. I just spit. I don't know what's wrong with me. But I almost put that as number 1. But yeah, CRJ was still, we've been anticipating that, but that's definitely was worthwhile of a number 2 top 5 announcement for that. WMKK Tower, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it, buddy. So much. Thank you so much. Trying to build this channel. You know, you might have just put me at 460 by subscribing. And I got to check here, but I think you might have just put me at 460. You did! You put me at 460 subs, so thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. And for all of you, if you would, smash the thumbs up button if you would. If you like the content, you know, do. And as WMKK did, if you want to subscribe, that's wonderful. Like I say, I do more than just streaming. I do tips and tricks. Try to get more out of Flight Simulator in terms of like graphic settings, maybe some tweaks and hacks. Of course, hardware software reviews on the Alpha Flight Controls and the Bravo Honeycomb Throttle Quadrant. I've got several reviews on that. I will be doing a review soon of the TPR pedals. Aircraft review coming for the PA-28. I'm done marketing. Okay, but really, I want this to be a channel for all of us. It's not my channel. I like to think of it as our channel, because we are a community, and this is really for us all to communicate. Aces, you've helped people with the suggestions, and again, channel for all of us, not just one person. That's my mission on this channel anyway. Oh, great, Aviation Spotter, thank you. You saw that. Aviation Spotter says, yep, I actually first heard that news from your latest video. Appreciate that, my friend. I'm glad I could bring that to you, and I'll keep working at it. I as I mentioned in that video, I kind of been thinking about, instead of every week, because sometimes there's just not enough content to really do a top 5 announcements, and I find that I'm like kind of shoehorning in some announcements, like scenery. I think scenery's a dime a dozen right now. You know, with exception, you know, there's some major scenery that I'll actually will be worthy, I think, of saying, yeah, this is a good announcement. But yeah, I thought about like switching it from every week to every 2 weeks to once a month. I got quite a bit of good feedback from all of you, and I do appreciate that feedback. And I don't know what happened. Like the last video I posted, I had like about over 500 views and like 23, 24 likes within like a couple days, and it kind of like I was watching like YouTube analytics, and it was like going down, down, down for each week of those, and then all of a sudden I posted that last one, so I don't know what happens. It's just one of those things. I'm still learning. I'm still relatively new. I've been doing this only since December, so. But I hope all of you will come along for the ride, and maybe our channel will grow. Maybe it'll stay the same, which I'm fine with, but we'll see where it goes. Okay, so WMKK Tower, you say, I played GOFS, the Browser Flight Simulator. I'm not sure what that is. What is that? GOFS. I'm sure that obviously that's an acronym for something. Tower, what is that? I'm not familiar with that. Better check where we're at from top of descent. We're probably getting pretty close. Top of descent, 91 nautical miles. We still have some time. 22:39 Zulu. And what time is it, SimFans? 12 minutes. 12 minutes, and we got a little bit before 12 minutes, we got to turn on that passenger seatbelt sign. Speaking of passengers, by the way, and I know many, look at that Ortho 4XP, SimFans. Woo, that is good looking, isn't it? We actually we broke out, oh, yeah, see, that's where it's not so great. That isn't obvious or anything. There's that big seam there. That's what happens. You get those tiles. That's okay though. It's free. I can't bitch about it. But like if we just look over in that direction, gosh dang, look at that. The satellite imagery, the mesh, that is downright gorgeous, right? Look at that. It's just, well, I mean, anything at 35,000 feet. This, by the way, if you're looking at Ortho 4XP, and I'm going to put a link later on, but you might already have it. This, if you're wondering, this is at a 16 zoom level. So it's not like really close in for the detection, but you don't need to be when you're flying at this. If you're flying commercial flights, 16's by far good enough. If you fly into some of the aircraft that you have payware for, a lot of the payware aircraft already come with ortho satellite imagery anyway. That's probably, well, it's definitely at a higher zoom rate. And if you want to do like a higher zoom rate for your approaches and stuff for the airport that you're flying in, by all means, definitely do that. But when you're commuting and you're going at a cruise altitude of 35,000 feet or 25,000 feet or something, 18 plus, I would say, 18,000 above, there's no reason to zoom in farther than 16. Don't. You're going to waste your storage. You're just going to waste your storage on that. Yeah, this is at 16 if you're wondering. And by the way, I have a 1080 NVIDIA card. I have this computer I'm running right now. As many of you are probably, I'm waiting to build a new one or just pre-order. I think you got to pre-order these days if you want to get the latest NVIDIA and GPUs. But I'm running a 1080 NVIDIA card, which is still a great card. Shit, they're still going for like $500 on eBay right now, $400 to $500. So I'm running a 1080 card, an i7 7700K with 32 gigs of memory, 34-inch Alienware curved display at 3440 by 1440 resolution. If you're curious, I meant to put that in the description because I know sometimes people wonder. All right, you're getting pretty good frame rates. What are you running, right? So that's what I'm running. But boy, is that beautiful! That is beautiful. Towery said I done subscribe to you on my main channel. Nice. Nice, okay. That's good to know. That's good feedback. Thank you. I do appreciate that very much. I appreciate all of you. I mean, even if you don't subscribe, you just dropping by because it's a late night. You just kind of want to see what's going on. Somebody's live streaming. I'll check it out because, just because. Thank you for stopping by. No need to subscribe. No need to like. I'm just glad to have you here. And, it's fun to do this stuff. But yeah, I mean, as we can see, Ortho 4XP, it's beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, Tower, thank you so much. Tower, you say, well, I need to go. See you on my phone. Appreciate it, my friend. Take care. If you bring us up on the phone, that's great. But do appreciate it. Look forward to chatting with you on future streams, and definitely appreciate you subscribing. And take care, my friend. We'll see you soon. So if we are, let's see here, we are 2239. That doesn't change frequently. It can change if we get a different tailwind or headwind, but it still looks like it's still right on track here. So 2231. We're still at 35,000 feet. One thing I will remind all of you about is make sure you have your altitude selector set at a lower altitude. As I showed before, I can bring it up really quick here again if any of you care to see it. Maybe not. Maybe you already know this. I'm going to show it anyway. Maybe I'll bore you. But our this is our localizer ILS intercept. So that's what I like to set my altitude as, and so I usually will plug that in before my what's called the top of descent profile. That's what that TD is. So when we look at our FMC on the right here, we see our 2 TD. That's not touchdown. Many might get that confused with touchdown, and then they get to that point and they're like, what the hell, I am not touching down, I haven't even descended yet. Top of descent, my friends, and many of you already probably know that, but a lot of us are new to flight simming. Some of us might be just joining this, and so this, again, is for everyone. So that's top of descent, and then our touchdown is here at KLAS, and that's that 2314. That's approximate time we'll be landing there. So given we only have 2239, and what did we say our clock is? We have 7 minutes. All right, SimFans, I'm going to take just maybe a 3-minute break. Three, maybe 4, but 3. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to play some tunes. I'm going to go on the outside here right now so we can view this Ortho for XP, but stick around if you would. It is a Thursday night, so if you can, I understand, but would love to have you stick around as we make our approach into the wonderful, beautiful Las Vegas McCarran International Airport. I've got the FlyTampa payware scenery, so I want you to be able to check that out, and we'll see how well I do. Last time I landed a little hard. It still was acceptable. I didn't break the landing gear or anything. I was right center, so we'll see how I do tonight. But do stick around for that. Plenty more to come. Aces, I'm sure you'll keep people entertained while I'm away for a few minutes. But first, I got to get through this. Till later at Aviation Spotter. You said, I had an RX 580 that died 2 months after warranty. Oh, you're kidding. And you know, isn't that always the way it goes too, man? It's always like they've got to figure out the warranty. It's always like the warranty runs out and then and then your stuff breaks. Sorry to hear about that, Aviation. So what are you doing now for a video card? And Space Parak. Hey, welcome to the channel. Hello, it's me again. Space, welcome to the channel. Great that you're with us, and do appreciate you joining, Space. That is great. I don't know, that might be a first here, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Space, but welcome. If not, I stand corrected. Glad to have you with us aboard. I'm going to kick on some tunes. Please stick around, everyone, and I will be back again in about 3 minutes, and we'll continue on. We'll reach that top of descent. Actually, I'll probably get back right about the time we're getting to that top of descent, but the autopilot's already plugged in, the FMC's already set. We should be good. Shouldn't have anyone in danger. Aces, it is your aircraft. I will hand it over to you, and I will be back in 3 minutes, and I'll throw on some tunes. So stick around, SimFans. Be right back. All right, SimFans, thanks for sticking around. Appreciate that very much. All right, so have we reached our top of descent? Oh yes, we certainly have. That took a little longer than I anticipated. We're already about 9,000 feet down. Let's take a look at that flyby. We still got our contrails. By the way, Aces, appreciate you as always joining these streams. I just made you a moderator, by the way, my friend. So appreciate that. And again, to all of you, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we gotta love the fly-by view. Is that not beautiful, friends? You know, that's the thing with X-Plane again. We gotta love the fact that we've got the fly-by view. It's a beautiful thing. Hey, check that out, Aces. You got the little wrench now by your name. That's cool. My first moderator. Aces down. Thank you, my friend. You have been here for every stream, and many of you, I'm going to do call-outs. Definitely Money, Frank Rose, who couldn't apparently make it tonight. We're building this channel together with all of you, every one of you that's watching views, whether you're just viewing, you're subscribing, but do appreciate every single one of you. I just want to make sure that's known right off the bat. You know, aviation, I know you've been there before. I missed Emesis. I was looking through the chat. I missed Emesis. I am sorry I missed you, Emesis, earlier on. Please accept my apologies. I missed that earlier. So, hey, Aces, I'm honored, my friend. It's not, don't be honored. I'm the one that's honored. I appreciate all the support and all of you. Thank you very much. And by the way, I was taking a little longer because I had to sneak in, you know, just one more. Don't tell my wife. So we are on approach. We better put those seatbelts on. Let's go ahead and put the seatbelt sign on. So I will do that right now. And I don't know if I can't remember if it does anything here. Let's see if it does anything. You know, with PAC-X SimFans, it does do that. So we'll see if this happens to do anything here. And of course, we got to remember to turn on our landing lights, our wing lights, wheel well lights, and all that good stuff once we get below 10,000 feet, SimFans. And once we get below 18,000 feet, which reminds me, we better check. Let's go ahead and check our pressure altitude to make sure we're ready to get our altimeter set. So how do we do that? Well, I'll show you. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to bring up Active Sky. And there's multiple ways. You can go to AirNav and see this too. But right now, as you can see where we're at, it's 29.90. Okay, so we'll hide that again. So that's our altimeter setting. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go to our altimeter. And we're just going to set that. You can see below, it's kind of hard to see. Let me do this. All right, just one notch up. Get to the right knob here. So that's ready to go. And let's go ahead and... I'm still trying to get used. You know when you switch... Ooh, got a little hazy, didn't it? And then we'll go over here and we'll switch this one to 2.9. No, it's 2989. It just reloaded. Is it 2989, friends? 2989. And we're below 18,000. That's why it says STD. Again, that's not what you think it says. I know, that's not funny. 2989. Hit the STD button. And now we are at pressure altitude. And we got a little bit of a haze here, SimFans. Cheers to you, Aces Down. Cheers to you, my friend, and to all of you. Late night stream on a Thursday night. As we can see, we are approaching, making our approach here. So if we look at our FMC, and here we're turning, and because we're just going to follow this magenta line, of course, SimFans, right? To trigger. See the shadow? There's a shadow fix, by the way. See how these shadows are kind of going all over the place? They don't really look super good. And you know, if we're in the cockpit, let's see if they're. Sometimes there's a shadow fix because sometimes you'll see like their sun reflecting in their shadows here on the cockpit. I can't see it right now, but a lot of times you will definitely see some blockiness in that. You know, that kind of thing that doesn't really add to the immersion. It takes away from it, of course. So there is a fix for that. I don't know. I'll maybe put that in the post if any of you are interested in the comments below, but it works. You can get kind of complacent though, SimFans. You know, when you have an FMC and it's like flying this aircraft all together. Okay, we're above 10. So what this is saying is true air temperature is above 10 degrees Celsius. So what it's telling us it wants us to do is turn off these the window heat and the we'll leave the probe on, but we want to turn off the anti-ice for the engine. The wing one automatically turned off, of course. Pablo Santa Cruz Escobar, welcome to the channel and the stream tonight. Welcome, welcome. Where did I get the Bravo? Well, I'll tell you, Pablo, I got it pre-ordered. The very initial release of it, I actually went in to buy it, and it was sold out immediately. And there were a lot of us that were really ticked off because there were some of the bots that just bought. They didn't put a quantity restriction on them, Pablo, and but. I'll tell you what, Honeycomb made it right because they decided to run multiple production weeks. And so that same day that they were doing their initial pre-order release, that later that night, and I was lucky I checked again and saw that was open, they did several different weeks of production where they let people come in and buy one at a time. And so Pablo, long story short, I got it on the very initial release opening. And I've had it for several months now. I absolutely love it. But I got it in pre-release. I actually had it shipped directly from Hong Kong, which if you've checked out some of my top 5 announcements, Honeycomb is doing now. They are actually, because of production, they actually are having difficulties getting their products on just containers to ship the stuff out. And so what they're doing is they're actually shipping a lot of their products directly to all of you. That have ordered them. They have more products going to resellers. So I know there's several resellers out there that you all have seen. What Honeycomb has said is there should be more coming soon. There should be more coming soon. So Pablo and the rest of you, do be patient. I know it's easy for me to say because I've had one for several months, of course, and that's easy for me to say, but they should be coming soon. Don't pay double the price on eBay for them. It just encourages the scalpers. Wow. $490 for the Alpha yoke, including taxes in Bolivia. Amazing. Yeah, I know you can't see it, but I've got the Honeycomb Alpha as well, Pablo. And I've got the TPR, Thrustmaster TPR pedals. So I am one of those fortunate souls that has this stuff. I had the TPR pedals and the Alpha before the pandemic hit. The pandemic didn't help, did it? Pandemic definitely made, like everything, it's made it more difficult. A lot of us are at home wanting things for entertainment, and the whole industry has done very well from it, but at the same time there's a shortage in supply. So we got that mountain off our right wing there, looking like the FPS is doing really well so far. Aces, really? I thought you already had it. So your Bravo is supposed to ship later today, the 26th, but I've heard that before. Okay, that's why, huh? Man, you're still waiting. Well, it's got to be happening soon. Hopefully, buddy. Frank Rose! There you are. Hello, Frank. Thank you for joining. You are just catching us on our final descent down. We're about under 10,000, Frank, and we'll be turning on our landing lights. And we're making our way into the beautiful FlyTampa scenery of Las Vegas. Frank, it's so great to see you. This is a dedication to you, my friend. So I did take off from Vancouver. Frank, it was rainy, it was stormy, and we took off in IMC conditions. We flew through a few cloud layers and hand flew this bird up to 35,000 feet, Frank, and that's what we're making our way down on. And for those of you that are out there, Frank is a ramp agent. You call him a ramp agent, Frank? I don't want to get that wrong, but you work the ramp for Air Canada at Toronto. You've loaded up and worked with 787 Dreamliners and A380s and all kinds of aircraft, which, Frank, it's great to have you here and have you as a follower. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, Frank, for joining. As again, all of you do appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please smash the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the stream, and subscribe if you haven't already. Do appreciate it. Again, trying to build our channel, not my channel, our channel for us flight sim fans, but even sim fans in general. If you like racing, I do iRacing. I talked about Wreckfest, and do all kinds of simming, anything simming. I haven't done Computer Builder Simulator. Have you all seen that? There's a program out there. It got good reviews. It's like, for those of you that like to build your own PCs, and I do, and I'm in IT, so I've been building my own computers since I was very young, and I haven't tried it out yet. It looked interesting. Frank, you said just finished pushing back a Dreamliner. Thank you so much, and we are. Call station attendant. Call station attendant. Thank you. I'll try to remember that and get that right next time, Frank. So Frank, you're on shift. Frank usually gets on the stream and then bounces back. He gets on the stream during his breaks, and Frank, appreciate it. It's always good to have you on here. Somebody that's actually doing aviation stuff. That is awesome. I myself have mentioned this before, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I'm a real-life pilot. I don't fly professionally. I fly recreationally. But, when I can't get my fix in the air for real, which has been some time, to be honest, that's why I like to sim, and I've always simmed way before. It actually got me motivated to get my actual PPL is flight simming. So I know some of you that watch the streams or join the channel are interested in getting PPL, and more power to you. I'd say do it. It's nothing more satisfying. Well, we're going to make our approach here. We're at about 8,000 feet, and as you can see, we are about to do our turn. So we need to get ready for this approach, SimFans. First, Space Perrick. Well, I think I will buy the computer CPU which costs mine are $220 or $53. Man, that's expensive. Yeah. Nothing's cheap. Nothing's cheap right now, space. Nothing's cheap. It's all expensive stuff, my friend. It's supply and demand, you know. Okay, so I'm going to show everybody something real quick. If you hit this init ref, initialization reference, we can see that we've got the ILS at 111.5. We'll be flying the ILS at 26 left for FlyTampa, Las Vegas. And have our flap speeds here with our different degrees of flaps and what we should be at. I usually add about 5 knots for safety for that. Our glide slope is turned on. So, and then the 259 degrees course. So that becomes important, and we'll look at that right now. So first we got to turn in our nav computer to 111.5. And if I can remember which button I have, here we go. So we have nav 1, so we got to tune this to 111.5. Oops, I always do that. 111.5. Remember to hit this, so it switches it over. The one on the left is the active, as it says. And then we're going to do the same here. That's our nav 2. So now once we have those set, remember we have the course of 259. Now let me show you something really quick. Make this all come together for all of you. And some of you that know already, bear with us because we might have some newer SimFans online. So if we go to Chrome, and now you can see that this has a course line SimFans of 259. That's what that means. So we're flying into runway 26 left, but it's just a degree off. And so that's where that comes from. So we're going to turn that off. So that's where our 259 in our FMC comes from. So now all we got to do, if SimFanatic can remember, is just go up here, tune our course line to 259. By the way, I can do this with the Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant, so I know many of you that follow my channel, because I'm such a Honeycomb fan, as many of you are, I can do that with my dials, but it just takes so long to dial it. I use the virtual cockpit still. I find that easier to just do it. If I have just a few degrees, I might go down here, switch my mode selector, and do that. But let me show you that it does work. So I switch it to course. Oh, maybe... or not. Heading works. Yeah, see, heading works. I don't know. Course isn't working right now. Interesting. Okay, well, something to highlight, I guess. SimFans, so there you have it. We got a runway down there. I don't think that's our runway, but we'll be turning, yeah, because ours will be off to the left and back. Oh, we'll be flying by it here shortly. And we got mountains ahead of us. And why are we holding 8,000 there? Weather just reloaded. So here we can see chips, right? So we got chips coming up. Let me move to this. So Nikes. Let me zoom in a little bit here, SimFans, so we can see better. All right, there we go. That'll be better. Okay, now let's go back here. So here's chips. So it'll give us our arc, so we know where our turn radius here. But that's why chips is at 8,000. So when we cross chips, it's at 8,000. We cross poker, 8,000. Preno, which is down here, 8,000. Notice that says TD again, so that's top descent, where we're going to start descending to that 3,800 ILS intercept. So again, that's what that is. We need to put in a notch of flaps, so we're going to go over, check out the Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant webcam, because we're going to put in a notch. We're going to hear that come in. Notch of flaps. For some reason my auto throttle just disengaged. Not sure why that happened. Made it mad for some reason. I don't know why that happened. But now it's slowing down again, taking the throttle out. Sometimes there's like, with Zibo, there is a noise reduction. And by the way, one thing I will tell all of you is with the Honeycomb Bravo Throttle Quadrant, if you have SciTech or CH for your throttle controls, it is 1,000,000 times better in terms of noise reduction. There is a higher resolution for these flight controls, because I can tell you right now, and some of you that have the SciTech or the CH Bravo, if you have the CH or SciTech throttle units, I think those are like 8-bit or something. They're very low resolution, and like it would drive me crazy because I could look down here and these controllers would be like flipping out. They'd be like this, like flipping out, and they would auto throttle would always disengage on me, and it was super annoying. But here we go, flyby view. Beautiful, beautiful. Coming in to approach here. So now let's check out. We got to figure out. So 15 flaps at 162. So we're going to go ahead and throw in another notch. That is not what I want. That might, I don't know if that's a bug or if that's, I'm doing something wrong. Auto throttle, PRST. But yeah, we need to get slowed down here, fans, because we are needing to get approach. Okay, so now the other thing I'll show you. This is XP Realistic moving our view here. But, you know, we've got a ways till we hit 3,800, but one of the things I like to do is I like to prepare our approach. So what I do is I usually put nav2 on approach. So I'll go over here, and then I'll switch, I'll show you this. I'll switch this to approach. So you notice that changes the FMC, and I'm gonna drop out a little bit from, in terms of the distance. Okay, and I'm not going to kick in the ILS until we intercept that, but once we have the ILS in line, we'll switch over to APP, which is short for approach. So now we've got approach set on our nav2 or our co-pilot's position, so we're ready to go there. That's way too far angle of attack, but let's see, how far are we? Yeah, we're getting pretty close. Have to do a flyby here. All right, Space. Thanks for joining. Space say, well, I need to go for real now. Thanks for the content. Thank you, Space. Do appreciate you, and thank you for joining. Yes, Ace has been a lot more chat and loving it. And here's a reminder not to miss questions from Frank and comment from Aviation Spotter. Okay, thank you. You know, when it starts getting busy, as you know, Aces, I start losing my focus here. So thank you, Aces, for that. Let's see here. Oh wow. Okay, Pablo, you've actually done the private and commercial and IFR courses? That's amazing, my friend. Good job. You know, I've done the PPL, I've done the commercial, but I have not done the instrument. I did my I did the CFI test and the CFII test, but I didn't get my aeronautical knowledge done or experience on it yet. So hats off to you, Pablo. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, good job on that, Pablo. Get your license. That's awesome, man. Frank Rose, do you think X-Plane 12 will come out anytime soon? Frank, I actually touched on that earlier. Now, I don't have any insider information, Frank, and I'm not going to pretend I do. Give me a second. I'm going to switch this to approach mode. So once we intercept this, see this little, see when you see this single channel, you know you've intercepted the ILS, and this is going to fall down. And get closer and closer. We can see the airport ahead of us. Once I intercept the ILS intersection there, I will put the gear down. So, Frank, yes, I touched on X-Plane 12, so I don't have any insider information, Frank, but I'll tell you, I've got to believe, based off of stuff I've read, what Austin Meyer, that, of course, is the founder and CEO of X-Plane, as you know, And Laminar Research, which is the development group, development team under Austin. You know, let's think about it, Frank. So, like, X-Plane 10.5, right? So there's X-Plane 10.5, and then I think we had, like, Update 2, maybe Update 1, Update 2, maybe even 3. And what did we see? Then we saw X-Plane 11. Well, where are we at today, Frank? We're at X-Plane 11.5. Are we at Update 2 or RC2 or 3 or whatever they call it? So, Frank, if I were to look at my crystal ball, I would say yes. I'd say we're getting close, my friend. I would say X-Plane 12 will probably be released soon. Again, I don't have any insider information. I don't know for sure, but if I were going to put money on it, I would guess soon. All right, SimFans, we are now going to put in our speed brake. So we got our speed brake in because we're coming in fast. And again, we are going to be on 26 left, so right here, 26 left. And you can hear, whoa, what the, why is this doing this? Oh, auto throttle went out. That's why. Yeah, we almost got over exceeded here, so keep an eye on your airspeed, SimFans, right? Still on autopilot. We're still in VNAV. Just want to make sure our vertical navigation was set because we're like dropping like a frickin' brick. But it'll pull out of it here shortly. And once we slow down to that 171, we can take our speed brake out. But yeah, you know, you come over those mountains. I mean, you're gonna want to decrease. Oh, by the way, flip this on. I forgot to put landing lights on. I am slacking, SimFans. Runway turn-off lights need to go on. We need to turn on our wing light, our wheel well. Everybody ready for landing. Prepare for landing. I get to talking and I forget what I'm doing. Ace is down. Hopefully I got responses for everybody. Did I miss the one from Aviation Spotter? Where was the one from Aviation Spotter? Oh, yes. Yes, I did miss it. Aviation Spotter, yes. The Charlie pedals, I would say, and I mentioned this earlier, even though I got the TPR pedals, and they're $650, I would save your money, and I would definitely spend it on the Charlie, because we all know it's going to be good. Gonna put our landing gear down now. And notice I do it once, I got to do it again. So with the Zibo, you got to do it twice. There they come down. I don't know, there's probably a fix for that, SimFans. But we're going to drop this down. What did we say? We want 140. I'm a little bit behind the aircraft. 146, roughly. Let's get this slowed down. We need to put our flaps down, our speed brake down. Let's check this out. Also, we need to turn our, we got our brakes, RO brakes set. And you can hear the trim wheel just going to town here. And usually what I like to do, I'm going to turn on, why did it do that? Autopilot disconnected. We're just going to turn it off and we'll hand fly it now. So we're hand flying, fans. We're going to turn auto throttle off. This is all us, SimFans.
300. 200.
147. We'll get a little right.
100.
Hopefully my reversers work. I should have tested them out.
20. 10.
Bleed off that airspeed. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Bleed it off, bleed it off, bleed it off. There we go. Put the reversers in. Keep that nose up. Bring that yoke back. Look at that, SimFans, right down the middle. 80 knots, reversers off. Speed brake off. Can we make it? We're gonna make it. We're gonna get on that turn off. Woo! Hell yeah! Oh baby, we got her, SimFans. Look at the traffic. Look, you know what? We didn't get to go by the skyline, and I apologize. You know, just it's the weather. I'll blame it on the weather.
When you open the overhead compartments, be careful.
But we got her landed, SimFans.
American
And
Airlines.
yeah. So let's make sure we don't have anybody landing on the right runway here. All right, we're gonna put that up, and then I'll take our spoiler down, and of course we will put our flaps up, and we'll turn our landing lights off. Of course, there's a Delta flight. There's a 7.5 right in front of us. You see that? Beautiful. Turn our runway turn lights off. We can turn our wheel well and wing off, and we definitely need to turn our position lights to steady. There's an Allegiant. That's the thing I miss as well, SimFans, is the fact that we don't have all the liveries for the AI aircraft right now. You see all those default lame-ass liveries in Microsoft Simulator, but, you know, they'll get there. They'll get there. No worries, they'll get there. Looks like we're clear, right? Are we clear, fans? Hopefully. I think we are. All right, 2312. Well, we made time that we figured we would. Seems like we're in a good spot. Let's see, where do we want to go park? We'll just find a good spot to park. We'll go over to the right there and park at the ramp over there. We don't necessarily. We are flying American tonight, SimFans, but that's okay. We're just gonna go over here, probably park with some of the Delta aircraft. All right, let's take a look. Yes, if I can, Aces Down, you're right. If I can pre-order, you know, I've been posting a lot of videos with my reviews on the Bravo Throttle Quadrants, and I'm hoping that Honeycomb will allow me to, I'm going to try to pre-order. I don't expect them to give me anything. But if I am able to pre-order it, I promise all of you, because I've already got the TPR pedals, I will definitely make them available to one of my followers. And you know, I'll probably offer some sort of discount. I'm not sure what that will be. It might be 10%, might be even be 20%, but I will offer them up to someone that follows my channel as a thank you. I might have to do a drawing though, because I don't know how else I'd be fair about that. So I'd probably have to do some sort of drawing, and then offer them up for sale at a discount to somebody that has been following me, which I, you know, as a simple thank you, if I can get them. But I will be pre-ordering them if I can get a hold of them. And again, the reason for it is I want to give a review, a fair review, and I've already got the TPR pedals. There's no reason for me to hold on to, you know, the Charlie pedals, and I can't imagine they'll be better than the TPR, but I bet they'll be probably as good. They'll probably be more valuable than these, but yeah, I mean, I want them to go to another sim fan that loves to sim. Why would I keep two sets? So, but I would like to do a review so I can give an honest review for all of you. Okay, we got parked here. Looks good. I'm going to hit the rocker switch here, SimFans, so we can turn on the parking brake. So we've got that on. So we'll run through our checklist really quick. So after landing, checklist, and I know I probably forgot some of these things. We'll probably just skip pretty much all of it. Is that fine? I don't want to waste your time. You probably don't care. But what I will do is we'll start the APU at least, and so we can shut down the engine. So Start the APU. We're just going to hit start until the light comes on for low oil pressure. We'll release it. We'll get our APU on at least, and then we'll shut down the engines. All right, let me catch up on some chat here. Looks like I'm pretty much caught up, but oh man, that taxi. Aviation spotter, yes. I don't know. We're gonna do a. Let's see how we do on our landing, SimFans. Because you're all my first officers, and so we got to see how we did on the landing. Of course, we can turn our beacon off. We'll turn that off. And let's see if we have the particle system engaged here for our. Oh yeah, so we can see the APUs running. Oh, we got some sunlight. Well, that's nice, isn't it, SimFans? We got some sunlight. How about that? All right, so we got to wait for this exhaust temperature to come down roughly about 45, somewhere between 4 and 5 here. I think these lights will come on. Actually, they're already on. Okay, turn those on. So that went there. We got to switch our generated APU. Now that's set. We can turn our APU bleed on, and now we can finally disengage our engines. So we'll turn those off, and then we'll hear those.
Arrival and cross check, thank you.
And our passengers are going to get excited because they can now deboard as we hear the engine rev down. Oh, you know, that's something else that I miss is the FMOD sounds. Thought that was thunder there for a second. It was just wind. You gotta admit, there's still a lot to be said about X-Plane, especially if you're doing Ortho 4XP. I mean, when you have the flyby camera, if you have Ortho 4XP, you have the X-Vision shader mod, you have the Active Sky weather mod that I showed you today, or tonight. Of course, that's money, right? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Now, with the Zibo, it's free. The Ortho 4XP is free, of course, except for the storage. But, when you got to start talking about, all the mods and stuff like the X-Vision shaders and the Active Sky and all those add-ons, that costs money. But I'd have to say that there is still, especially for those of you that have X-Plane and a lot of the mods already, we'll see, Frank, what happens with, no gate to plane, no. It's not coming up, is it? That's kind of weird, actually, Aces, because it should. Once you put the parking brake and you put the beacon, when you turn the beacon off and the engines are down, usually that does come. Yeah, that's a good observation, Aces. I don't know why that's not. Do I have the beacon off, SimFans? Yeah. So I don't understand why that's not coming, because usually that will. Anti-collision's off. We'll turn these off. I don't know. But we're just going to go ahead and, we'll leave that on because we can still see the systems if we do a replay. So let's go ahead and do replay, SimFans. Toggle replay mode. And, always try to find a good spot for this. And that's not it. And let me see. I've got a cheat sheet here. Control R, fast reverse. So let's see how we do. Hey, how many of you can taxi backwards like that? Bad joke. We sat there for a while. All right, hold on. Obviously need to go back. Well, there goes our lights. Let's just let it go through the reverse. There's the spoilers. We'll go inside the aircraft and we'll see us fly backwards. All right, here we go, SimFans. So we'll do one from the passenger side, one from the right side on the wing view, one from the left, and then we'll do an outside from the runway and the tower, and see how I did, see how we did. So we're coming in. There we we go. Reversers, spoilers. See those reversers there? Engage. Beautiful, beautiful. Lovely. Right on the center line, SimFans. Good job. Let's go ahead and look at that from the left wing, shall we? Good angle of attack, I think. Hold on, let's make sure we've got the engine sounds, because I think this is when you need to crank up the engine sounds a little bit. Hopefully I don't blow it. Blast your eardrums out. There, listen to that F-mod sound. Ooh, baby. Here we go. From the left seat. Let's see how we do. Pulling that out. We floated a little bit. I know. We floated a little bit, but hey, we landed smoothly, I think. Look at that. Look at the engine, SimFans. The reversers there. Beautiful. And those F-mod sounds. Can't argue with the F-mod sounds. Oh yeah. Look at those reflections too. You know, you talk about the PBR material and stuff. What is that shit flying around? Are those cars? What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Alright, let's reverse. Let's see if they come up in the air again. They didn't. I don't know what that was. Alright, we're gonna go outside. Yeah, I floated quite a ways, didn't I? I floated. Crap, just a tiny bit. The winds weren't bad. Right before, see, I didn't want to hit the. At least I didn't hit the landing gear, and we didn't float up. We just had to bleed that air off. Not bad. Oh, is that pass? Is that pass, SimFans? Not horrible. All right, let's do one more, but let's view from the runway itself. Well, we'll do two more. We'll do one from the tower, and one from the runway. See how this looks. Shift 3, I think it is. And we're on, of course, the right runway. So I'll just keep hitting Shift 3 until it like adjusts, until X-Plane recognizes that we don't want right, we want left. Come on. It won't work. Oh, I guess it's not gonna. Oh, there it goes. A little off to the left. Good enough for government work, right? Floated a bit. So now we have it here. We can stick it, but we'll go one last time. Play. All right, so here we go. We're not still, we're backing up still. All right, one last time from the tower. I think that's Shift 5, right? Yep, Shift 5. Here we come. I backed that up farther than I hoped to, but it's okay. We'll play some music here as we make this approach, SimFans. We'll probably have to do turbulence. That seems right, doesn't it? Here we go, SimFans. Into FlyTampa, Las Vegas. Quite a bit of floating. But, you know what? I've done worse. All right. All right, well, SimFans, thank you so much. I do appreciate every one of you. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Again, if you haven't already, please smash the thumbs up and do a like, subscribe. If you have already, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I hope to find all of you soon on a future stream. I usually stream on Saturday nights, late nights. I've done 1:30, but I think I'll do another stream at 8:30. Let me know if you want to see anything in particular. If you want to do Microsoft Flight Simulator, if you want to do X-Plane again. I'm planning on doing MSFS, probably in the Piper Arrow 3. I'm not quite ready for the CRJ yet. I will be doing that soon, SimFans. But again, thank you, each and every one of you, for watching. I appreciate you staying up with me late this Thursday evening. Have a great weekend. And as always, SimFans, blue skies. And we'll see you soon. Take care.